Let me check the sound as usual. I want to make sure that you can hear me loud and clear. Microphone check 1 2. I want to make sure that you can hear me loud and clear. That's beautiful. The title of this video is Academic Butt Spanking from Slavery to Secret Societies. We're going to get some insight about this practice, which might be widespread in the conscious community, but what widespread in the sense of practice, but not necessarily in awareness because of the secrecy that goes along with these kind of rituals. If you wonder what I'm talking about, I will not need to play this several times.
Ridiculous Asar Imhotep. First of all, let's get to know Asar Imhotep. Listen for yourself.
Did you go through any kind of hazing process, though?
No, I pledged. Yes.
Okay, so you went through a hazing process.
No, I pledged. There's a difference.
Okay, so as you went through the hazing process, did they slap you on the ass with a paddle?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay. So you bent over, you grabbed your ankles, and that paddle was smacking that ass.
Basically.
Okay.
So here you have an entry on Wikipedia about the paddle. And you can see that it says paddle spanking in parentheses. And here we have a spanking paddle. Probably reminds a few of our conscious community members of some special kind of memories. They are probably reminiscing as I'm speaking, or as they will watch this video after the live stream. A spanking paddle is an instrument used to strike a person on the buttocks. The act of spanking a person with a paddle is known as paddling. A paddling may be for punishment, normally of a student at a school in the United States, or as an initiation or hazing ritual. Now, here we have a description of the paddle. So we can move straight to history of the paddle. I'm going to make sure it's large enough. Yeah, that's okay like that. The paddle may have been originally invented for the punishment of enslaved people as a way of causing intense pain without doing any permanent damage to the recipient. However, it is not only in former slave states that the paddle has been used in schools. Sentence is a bit odd, but it is not known why or exactly when it became the normal implement for corporal punishment in US schools. There are, however, instances of paddling using similar implements with individuals who are not slaves. And here we have an illustration. We have an illustration of a paddle being used for the punishment of slaves. And at the bottom it says, common mode of whipping with the paddle. I would really like for people who went through hazing and paddling to join us during this live stream. I have shared the link in the chat, so whoever wants to get on the panel is welcome. However, the requirement is, and I've been for a while, that you must show your face. So, if for whatever reason it doesn't suit you, you do have the chat where you are free to type your messages, ask your questions, make your statements. But even after the live stream, feel free to participate in the comment section. Did you know about this possible origin of paddling going back to slavery? I'm going to share something else. Well, first, this one here. If you type in paddle and slavery and you go to images on Google, you have several depictions. And you can see the paddle with slave written in it. So you have to wonder, those people who like corporal punishment, how did that eventually come about? Did it come about because slavery was abolished at one point and they didn't have anybody anymore that they could inflict damage on against their will? So they came up with a way of having people willing to receive pain. You have to wonder. So, how do you call it? Not the French term, but I'm looking for the English translation. I put Wikipedia. You're probably more familiar with the acronym. Okay. Um, what was the name of that guy? Rihanna had a song. It's an acronym which starts with S and it's probably SD something. And there's a famous blogger that appeared in Rihanna's music video. Oh, do you call it S&M? So if I type in S&M on Wikipedia, okay, sadomasochism. So see here, see the lady there. This depiction is described as a male dominant whipping a woman, or it's basically a male dominant whips a woman, and he's whipping her on the buttocks as well. So now let's look at something else. We're going to look at fraternities and sororities. I'm going to share the link in the chat. Hey, Hotep, Sister Beverly Gama, I hope you're doing well. And if some of you have not gone through those hazing and paddling process, but you know some people, whether they are friends or family members or colleagues who went through it and told you about it, then feel free to give your insight. That's it. I have shared the link in the chat. Fraternities and sororities, also referred to as Greek letter organization, GLOs, or collectively as Greek life, in North America and the Philippines, are social organizations at colleges and universities. A form of the social fraternity, they are prominent in Canada, US, Europe, and the Philippines. The similar organizations exist in other countries, including the Student Enverbindungen of former and current German-speaking countries, Fraterstwa in Poland, and the Goliardi in Italy. Similar but much less common organizations also exist for secondary school students, as do fraternal orders for other adults. Now, if we look at fraternal orders, we are told fraternal order is a fraternity organized as an order with traits alluding to religious, chivalric, or pseudo-chivalric orders, guild, or secret societies. Contemporary fraternal orders typically have secular purposes, including social, cultural, and mutually beneficial or charitable aims. Many friendly societies, benefit societies, and mutual organizations take the form of a fraternal order. Fraternal societies are often divided geographically into units called lodges or provinces. Now, lodges, I'm sure that rings a bell. You all heard that term before. Members of the lodge. They sometimes they sometimes involve a system of awards, medals, decorations, ties, degrees, offices, orders, or other distinctions, often associated with regalia, insignia, initiation, and other rituals, secret greetings, signs, passwords, oaths, and more or less elaborate symbolism, as in chivalric orders. The Freemasons and Odd Fellows emerged in the 18th century in the United Kingdom and the United States. So I think I can go back to the previous article of fraternities and sororities. So in Northern North American usage, Greek letter organization is often synonymous with the terms fraternity and sorority. Generally, I'm going down a little bit. Generally, membership in a fraternity or sorority is obtained as an undergraduate student, but continues thereafter for life. For life. Because some people might say, well, they used to bend over at school and they used to get spanked in the buttocks because they had to do it at school. Some people help them going through the schooling process and reduce the cost. But then at least some continue for life. So, do they continue to get spanked for life? When does the spanking stop? Let's continue. I'm going down here. Individual fraternities and sororities vary in organization and purpose, but most share five common elements. And the number one element is secrecy. So far, nobody gave their insight, and it was the same also previously. So maybe because of that code of secrecy, we might not get some testimonies or reports. Now, fraternities and sororities have been widely criticized for practicing elitism. And I wonder why some people feel so high and mighty, and favoritism. We have witnessed some French in scholarship discriminating against non white students and other marginalized groups, conducting dangerous hazing rituals. Is it showing here? Yes, it does. It's a bit small, but you have the link. And facilitated alcohol abuse. Fraternities, specifically, have been further criticized for encouraging misogynistic behavior. This might be why we don't have that many sisters in the conscious community. And perpetrating sexual violence. So, some people will tell you that they pledged as part of their initiation. But what about the sexual violence? But they have a code of secrecy, so we get a bit more information about that as we go down the line. Many colleges and universities have sought to reform or eliminate Greek life due to these concerns, but these efforts have typically been met with intense controversy. Not just controversy, period, or minor controversy, but intense controversy. Now, in the list of content, we can go straight to 2.1.5 secrecy and ritual. Now, here we have a picture with members of Phi Kappa Sigma at Washington and Jefferson College in 1872. Now, if I click on the picture, so it is enlarged, you see this gentleman. We have this skeleton here, full skeleton. And here we have the cranium and two bones forming a cross. And this is usually known as a symbol of the skulls and bones. And before I continue, I want to see which comment was left by the messenger Jafar Blackman. He wrote, "Salute, God Killer and the Amateur Squad, having been." Oh man, come on, man. Uh, man, I don't. Look, man. Um, you can be more specific and give some proof, give some evidence, give some testimony. But would it be constructive if people just make statements like that? What if somebody comes and make similar statements towards you without any proof, without any testimony? I don't think it's going to be helpful for the conversation. With a few exceptions, most fraternities and sororities are secret societies. While the identity of members or officers is rarely concealed, fraternities and sororities initiate members following the pledge period through sometimes elaborate private rituals, frequently drawn or adapted from Masonic ritual practice or that of Greek mysteries. Now, some members of the conscious community are Freemasons. They are part of some lodges. It's a reality. However, I don't have clear and definite proof of alternative lifestyle, for lack of better words. At the conclusion of an initiation ritual, the organization's secret motto, secret purpose, and secret identification signs, such as handshakes and passwords, are usually revealed to its new members. So, amongst the conscious community, they have signs, handshakes, and ways to identify one another. So they know who they can get down with. Some fraternities also teach initiates an identity search device used to confirm fellow fraternity members. So beyond those signs and handshakes, they have some sort of database or device to confirm fellow fraternity members. They are quite organized, seemingly. Julian Hawthorne, the son of Nathaniel Hawthorne, wrote in his posthumously published memoirs of his initiation into Delta Kappa Epsilon. I was initiated into a college secret society. A couple of hours of grotesque and good humored rhodomontade and horseplay. Now, before I continue, I wasn't aware about that term, horseplay. So we're going to look at the definition, but Jafar writes Sanjeti, Godkiller, Ujau, Ngozi, Gonsu have all confessed to being Masons. I don't know why you put that allegation on them, since so far you have not provided any proof. So, just put Mason. You don't need to go there. Because remember, anybody could come here on the chat and make the same accusations towards you. What will you say? You know, let's try to remain as factual as possible. You can ask questions, but to make affirmations like that. So here on Webster's, Merriam-Webster's, we have the word horseplay. In horseplay, we have rough or boisterous play. So we know what rough means. So from the testimony of that individual, he went through some rough stuff. But we know there was secrecy, so we will not have much details. We only have some hints. We only have some clues. And boisterous says noisily turbulent, rowdy, rowdy, rough and rowdy play. Some of you might have more insight or more documentation. If you do, feel free to share it with us. Now I can return to the article. Now, Jafar wrote, he meant to write Shaka, obviously. These guys aforementioned open admit to being in a large Prince Hall. It surely meant Prince Hall. Elijah Muhammad stated, for the record, we have the audio, that he used to be a Mason. So being a Mason is one thing. But then to put some gay accusation on them without any evidence, it's not cool, is it? So let me return to the article, which is once again fraternities and sororities. So he went through some horseplay, something rough and rowdy, in which he said, in which I cooperated, as in a kind of pleasant nightmare. So here we have some oxymoronic description. Pleasant nightmare. Nightmare is not something positive, but he said pleasant. So this might be some symbolism or clues or hint. It might be some jargon or vernacular to let the initiates know that it is something that was, in a sense, in a way pleasant, and in another way, not so pleasant. I cannot make much interpretation because I am not familiar with those kind of parties. But the brothers from the conscious community, whether they have openly stated it or not, but those who pledged, those who bent over and got spanked in the buttocks will probably be able to give us more insight about this kind of pleasant nightmare. Now Jafar wrote, now please make the effort. It's shaka, not shake. You're so quick to type. You have to do bestiality and homoerotic things to rise up the ranks. Says who? How do you know? Is there any reference that you can direct us to? Are you implying that Elijah Muhammad engaged in those sort of things in order to rise up the ranks? Or maybe he did not rise up the ranks, but how do you know? that they have to engage into that. So after pleasant nightmare, we have confident even when branded with a red hot iron. So earlier we've seen the paddle, which possibly is a tool that was initially used during slavery. And now we are told about being branded with a red hot iron. And we know that many slaves used to be branded just like cattle, just like animals. So we can wonder if they try to recreate some setting similar to slavery and looking for willing participants, since at the time it was no longer legal to forcefully inflict all sorts of physical harm and damage on enslaved Africans. So, with a red hot iron, or douse head over heels in boiling oil, that it will come out all right. The neophyte is effectively blindfolded during the proceedings, and at last, still sightless, I was led down flights of steps into a silent crypt and helped into a coffin where I was to stay until the resurrection. Thus it was that just as my father passed from this earth, I was lying in a coffin during my initiation into Delta Kappa Epsilon. Meetings and rituals are sometimes conducted in what is known as a chapter room located inside the fraternity's house. Entry into chapter rooms is often prohibited to all but the initiated. So they have secret rooms where they can do secret stuff. In one extreme case, the response of firefighters to a blaze signaled by an automated alarm at the Sigma Phi chapter house. I don't know if you pronounce it Sigma Phi, you probably do. Chapter house at the University of Wisconsin in 2003 was hampered in part because fraternity members refused to disclose the location of the hidden chapter room where the conflagration had erupted to emergency responders. So we are told that even in one case where there was a fire, some premises was on fire, and those secret society slash fraternity members would not direct the rescue team, the firefighters, to the location of this room, which is an indication that they probably have some things that they definitely, at all cost, didn't want other people to know. According to Assistant Professor Caroline Roland-Diamond of the Paris West University Nanterre La Défense, in one ritual popular in the 60s, born out of frustration to the ubiquitous nascent counterculture, the men were stripped to their underpants, tied up to a tree, and covered in a nasty mix of food and leaves, remaining there until their fiancés came to feed them with a kiss. So here we have a testimony And we are told that those men were stripped to their underpants and tied. Okay. Symbols and naming conventions. The fraternity or sorority badge is an enduring symbol of membership in a Greek letter organization. Most fraternities also have assumed heraldic achievements. Members of fraternities and sororities address members of the same organization as brother in the case of fraternities or sister in the case of sororities. So, in the conscious community, most of the time we refer to ourselves as brothers and sisters. Amongst Afrocentric and Pan African movements, it is the same as well. But probably those who have bent over and got spanked in the buttocks as part of some secret rituals, when they use the term brother and sister, as far as they're concerned, it's addressing their fellow members who went through the same kind of things. Birds of a feather flock together. Membership profile. Let's skip to notable fraternity and sorority members. Now, here on the right of this picture, and it says Ronald Reagan was initiated into Tau Kappa Epsilon at Eureka College, and George H.W. Bush joined Delta Kappa Epsilon at Yale University. And furthermore, besides those two individuals, those two former presidents, we are told that since 1900, 63% of members of the United States. Okay, that will come later for the presidents. So 63% of members of the United States cabinet have been members of fraternities and sororities. And the current chief executive officers of five of the 10 largest Fortune 500 companies are members of fraternities and sororities. So the people who went through similar kind of initiations of bending over and getting spanked in the butt happen to be some powerful and wealthy individuals. From that information, we may conclude that they will have some influence. In other words, in the urban vernacular, they are deep in the streets. And maybe that's one of the reasons why, in the conscious community, nobody seems to have any criticism about activities such as bending over and getting spanked in the buttocks. Maybe I need to watch my back. In addition, 85% of all justices of the US Supreme Court since 1910 have been members of fraternities. US presidents since World War II who have been initiated into fraternities are George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan, Gerald Ford, Franklin Roosevelt. Three prime ministers of Canada have been members of fraternities. In 2013, about 25% of members of the US House of Representatives and 40% of members of the US Senate are members of Greek letter organizations. Criticism. Greek letter organizations have been characterized as elitist or exclusionary associations organized for the benefit of largely white upper class membership base. Now we move straight to alcoholism. One Harvard University study found out that 4 out of 5 fraternity and sorority members are binge drinkers. In comparison, other research suggests 2 out of 5 college students overall are regular binge drinkers. There was also a high rate of alcohol related death among fraternities, which has recently resulted in several lawsuits against various GLO. So it looks like they are quite liberal with the bottle. When I spoke to the fake linguist, the host of the program asked him at one point, "Have you been drinking?" And for the record, as I listened to that exchange again, I mentioned some statements of his. And I want to clarify that I have almost all the quotes written in my articles or that I have stated. And when I say I have them, I'm talking about audio. We can hear him say it himself from his own mouth, his own voice. The only one that I don't have for sure is that Ra is a volcano. But other people, some people have told me that he used to teach that. He used to claim that. So he proceeds to act like I'm being dishonest because what he meant was, oh no, what I meant was, they're very good at that in the conscious community. They say some stuff, they'll write some stuff, but most of the time they say stuff. And you quote them, and oh no, no, what I meant to say was. So he went on to say that he had so many lectures where he explained what he meant. I don't care about that. I wasn't there. I have a direct citation, direct quotation from who? The actual individual in question. So I just wanted to state that for the record. I did demonstrate, I did show and prove. We have our brother Netanyahu in the place to be. How you doing, brother? I hope your studies are going well. I don't know if you are aware that the fake linguist, who is no longer claiming to be a linguist now because he's trying to associate with himself with some people who are in their field. So now he's a software developer as part of Dr. Jahi Issa's team. And on Happy Film, he's introduced as a cultural theorist. I never heard that before, but with linguistics, you can come up with many different terms. You have freedom of improvisation and also an Africana researcher. So it looks like recently he couldn't false flag anymore. Let's continue. Now, when it comes to hazing, I will read it. But look at this depiction of fraternity hazing from the early 20th century. See the face? Donkey kind of animals. I mean, this kind of reminds me of Baphomet, but it's just better to go through what is written on this article. Because what's going to come up next is sexism and sexual violence. I mean, we have some brothers who come from these environments of sexual violence. and something very serious. Now, our brother Netanyahu wrote, none of these guys are qualified to speak about the subject of linguistics. You know, on the website of the book, the origin of Amen, the origin of the word Amen.com, the author Osei is introduced as a linguist. But when the fake linguist who bent over and got smacked in the bum made a critique of Dr. Campbell's critique, he said several times, none of these authors claim to have been linguists, which is strange, but we're used to him making funny claims. And in case you didn't know, because I'm not sure if you listened to it, but I have listened to the fake linguist, saw him or fake's critique of Dr. Campbell's critique. He said that what Dr. Campbell did was like being in a barber shop and just talking to your friends. He even said that what Dr. Campbell did is like when a woman goes home and vents about her day at work. So he had some special analogies, special qualification or description of what Dr. Obadele Campbell did. Dr. Campbell did a book review, and I agree, But saw him or fake is part of that team, and that team obviously has made some great linguistic acrobatics and linguistic gymnastics, and this is the specialty of a saw him or fake. So since this activity of linguistic acrobatics has been criticized and condemned, he probably took it very personally. So he went at the defense of that activity that impresses some of our people who are not necessarily knowledgeable. Dr. Issa and Asahim or fake are deemed pseudo-linguistics. Well, Dr. Issa, I never seen him introduced as a linguist. Now, if he ever said that he's a linguist, be my guest. But the Asahim or fake, of course, for years he has claimed to be a linguist. So let's continue with this article here. But Netanel, did you know that I mean, maybe let me just in case because I don't know if you're aware of that.
Ridiculous Asar Imhotep. First of all, let's get to know Asar Imhotep. Listen for yourself.
Did you go through any kind of hazing process, though? Did
No,
you go
I
through a hazing
pledged.
process?
Yes.
Okay, so you went through a hazing process.
No, I pledged. There's a difference.
Okay, so as you went through the hazing process, did they slap you on the ass with a paddle?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay. So you bent over, you grabbed your ankles, and that paddle was smacking that ass.
Basically.
Okay.
So I don't know if you were aware of that, but this is how Asahim or fake used to get down, bending over, grabbing his ankle, and getting spanked in the buttocks. But the link is in the chat, my brother. But I'll share it again. However, please use your webcam because the requirement is for people to show their face when they get on the panel. Link to get on the panel. Show your face. Otherwise, just use the chat. So anybody wants to get on the panel, the link. Already, so feel free to join us. While our brother Netaneb joins us, hazing fraternities and to a lesser extent sororities, have been criticized for hazing, sometimes committed by active undergraduate members against their chapter's pledges. Hazing during the pledge period can sometimes culminate in an event commonly known as Hell Week, in which a week-long series of physical and mental torments are inflicted on pledges. Common hazing practices include sleep deprivation, sensory deprivation, paddling, and other types of spanking. So, oh, our brother Netanel is here. I'm going to put it on. Hotep Sen E, how are you?
Man, Hotep, how your day?
Oh, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. You know, I had to set the record straight about some strange activity. I don't know if you've seen it. The video was long, but
Yeah, that's
uh,
old news to us, man. You
mm.
know, you be getting things a little late over there. But I've been telling, I've been doing this for years. And we've been doing this for years with this guy. So whatever you doing is kind of late, but it's still good. It's not never too late to expose what you're doing. I'm proud of it. I appreciate you doing that, and you're correct. Now, let me clear up some things about Dr. Issa. I just
Mhm.
want to just clear some things. Yes, he's considered a pseudo linguist, and the reason why I say that, you don't have to come out and say, "Oh, I'm a linguist," and no, you don't. If you do work and you're claiming that Amen is from the Hebrew, which is a chant similarity, which is a look-alike in college. We look at that as look-alikes. If you have a look-alike in Hebrew and you're claiming that this look-alike in the Hebrew language is cognate with a Medu Neter cognate, then that's pseudo-linguistics. I don't care if you say you're a linguist or not. And if you are not a linguist, you shouldn't be writing on topics that's linguistic. That's like me, who I go to, you already know, and everyone knows that I'm a real linguist. Being a real linguist is what defines the definition of a authentic real linguist. A real linguist, you have to pass the 3 P's of proof. One is either you have to have a degree in the subject. You have to. You have to have a degree in linguistics, either a master's, even an associate. I don't care what kind of degree, from associates to the PhD level. Or if you don't have a degree, at least you are going to classes like me. See, so I'm in classes, University of Marburg VOC program. See that? And I'm about to get transferred, in process of getting transferred, and I work in the field. So the second providing of proof is either you in a classroom setting, you are going to some type of school or college for linguistic basics, Egyptological basics. You went to private courses in linguistics to cover the basics to intermediate knowledge in the subject. Or if you don't have a degree, and if you don't have, if not in college or anything like that to get your degree or a certificate, which is also good, at least you have experience, meaning that you work in the field with professors like I do. So when I submit my documentation on linguistics, I work with a professor in linguistics. See that? And I submit in the field of linguistics. See that? So I submit my work other places, anthropology departments, etc. I have proof, recordings. That's how you know you're dealing with a linguist. Now, when you have people like Dr. Issa and all of these guys, I respect them in that respective field. But you're not a linguist. So I should not be writing for physicists, writing information on physicists if I don't have any type of intermediate knowledge, basic knowledge about physics. I can't write on the subject. And if I do write on the subject and I don't have credentials, then when am I? I'm a pseudo. See, so the thing is that Dr. Issa, all of those guys, a lot of other people, they are professors in other fields. They love the topic, they love the subject. But when you're writing in linguistics, at least you got to pass the 3 modes of proof. You have to. Either you have to have a degree or you have to be in school, like me, in linguistics, right? A program or something enrolled, something, or you work with a professor. See that? So when they wrote that book about Amen, what happens in scholarship is that you have book reviews. People don't know about book reviews. Yes, you have what they call book reviews. See that? A book review, when you're writing a book review, it's being submitted to a peer-reviewed linguistic journal. See that? It's peer reviewed. It got to go through other top professors, scholars for a blind review. That's what the gold standard of science is. What, y'all? Peer review. That is the top dog. Joke went through what, people? Peer review. Obenga goes through what, people? Peer review. You have to do it, right? Now, if you submit your documentation like Dr. Issa and those pseudo linguists, they put something about the meaning of Kemet being from Hebrew and all of that. Everyone want to add the Hebrew stuff to Kemet. Everybody does that, right? Everyone, but you don't see them. You don't see them submitting for any type of peer review documentation like me, or or Joke, or the people like myself who are working hard in school and doing it the hard way, the right way, and we don't get attention. No one likes us because we demand peer review. You notice nobody deals with me because I'm going to demand that you go through the proper ways of science. It is unfair. So what I'm saying is this, brother. You don't have to say you're a pseudo-linguist. If you write a book claiming linguistics, right, and you don't have no qualifications in that subject, that means that you are doing pseudo-linguistic data. That's pseudo-linguistics.
Or amateur work. But maybe it's beyond the the academia.
It is beyond
Because
it.
it looks like, we have
beyond
those teams, those people who are parts of fraternities, as well. I've seen.
Hold up, bro. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna talk and then go ahead. You can build. What I'm saying is, all that what you're doing is old. That old to us. We already know they are connected. We already know they are connected beyond scholarship. Get real. Come on, we know this. This stupid. Listen, this is what I'm gonna say to you. Anytime you have a guy who bend over, right? I'm just being real. We knew this years ago. This ain't what you're doing is old. It's so old. I don't even talk about it. I don't talk about it because it's already a peer review of Asar Imhotep being a pseudo-linguist. I can show it to you. I can share it to you now. You want me to share the peer review now?
Well, you shared it before. That's the linguist on Wikipedia.
Yeah. So what I mean is that you see how people ignore that, though. I don't ignore that. You have to get past that for me to even entertain you. You have to check the peer review that's already on you, because in science, if I write a paper that is peer reviewed and you write a paper on my paper that's peer reviewed, I'm gonna have to respond with a peer review paper back. He did not respond back. He didn't do anything. He got rejected, and that was the end of his stuff. So that's a problem. That's even beyond this. That is beyond this, brother. That's beyond anything that anyone could say. You have to change that standing that you have of being a rejected scientist. They're saying your work is pseudo-linguistics in a peer review system. You have to get past that. If you don't get past that, I don't care if you gay. I don't care if you bend over and get specked in the battle with a paddle on your ass. I don't care about all that. You have to pass your peer review. If you don't pass your peer review, you are deemed a what? Pseudo-linguistics.
But there's also the issue of plagiarism. I wonder what Dr. Issa.
That's old, man.
Because
listen, man. I'm gonna tell you again, man. Do you want me to show you years ago when me and Dr. Reggie said that he was plagiarizing? Even before Team Osiris, we have said this shit.
I didn't know you guys did it before, Timo Size, but
Yes, I said that. I
Reggie,
said it before. No,
you know,
listen, you coming in late. Listen, me and Asar, it was me. This I'm gonna tell you from the beginning what happened.
but Reggie
Why
is
this
part of
guy?
their team, though. Did you know that?
I don't
Reggie,
care.
yeah, but it's
I don't
important
care. That's
because
well, not to
if
me. I don't care
well,
about that.
but
I
to
don't
me it
care.
is, and we have the right to different opinion because the guy is plagiarizing, and
Mhm.
yet Reggie is part of their team. And when I pointed out to Reggie, Reggie
I
said, "Well, I'm not
don't care.
I'm not receiving salary." And I told him, being part of a team doesn't mean that you're getting paid or getting some
Well, you
salary.
getting with him, brother. You getting with him.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care about that. You have to get past peer review with me. I don't care about none of that other stuff.
yeah.
I run a peer review science channel. If you're not peer review, you can't even come on my channel. So you got to get past peer review with me. I don't care about no other stuff with Dr. Reggie, with Baba Reggie doing or whatever he's doing. I can care less, man. If it's not upgrading Dr. Jope's work, if it's not upgrading Dr. Theophile Binger's work, if it's not challenging the standings of Afroasiatic, I can care less with these dudes, man. They're gonna do crazy shit, bro. I don't care. I'm letting you know. I don't care if it's not dealing with scholarship. I don't care what these guys. They're gonna do what they do on the internet. This is YouTube. YouTube means nothing to me. YouTube is a sharing platform. That's it. You have to submit your data to science to change it. Joke didn't run on YouTube. Dr. Joke didn't run on YouTube. What he do? He challenged it at UNESCO. Dr. Joke, Dr. Obenga. They didn't run on YouTube. They challenged it. They was challenging the top scientists where it
Let
was
me ask
needed
you,
to be
brother.
challenged at.
Let me ask you, brother. Would you be part of a team where there's a known plagiarizer?
Fuck no.
Okay,
Excuse
well,
my
that's what.
language. I'm not.
Yeah.
I told you, bro. This is what I'm gonna tell you again. If you ain't getting past peer review, I'm not dealing with you. I don't care who you are. You can't get past that. I don't care about what you do. I don't care if you've been over getting spanked with paddles. We've been knew that where we from. I've been talked on that. We've been talking about this guy Wu Jawu, these guys plagiarizing. We've been did that. That shit, man. When you read their books, they don't do in-text citations. One time, Timo Cybers told me he plagiarized, and I still have the message that when they first start saying that he plagiarized. I said I been know that. I said it's not going to change nothing. You're not going to do nothing to stop this guy. You can't stop him. He have a cult-like following on YouTube. I don't care if you say he plagiarizes. Yo, look, it's facts. He plagiarized. He plagiarized. These are facts, brother. He plagiarized. He still have a following. He is deemed in science to be a pseudo-linguist. He's still He's still a pseudo-linguistic. He didn't change that standing, and people still follow this guy. I told Tim Osiris, you're doing it for absolutely nothing. Who cares if he's plagiarizing? Because people don't even care. They still follow this guy by the thousands, dude. That ain't gonna stop his. Yo, what I'm saying is you have to put it down with a foot. The foot where you got to put it down is his scholarship. He didn't get past peer review, brother. He's a pseudo-linguist, brother. You should be showing that every goddamn day. You should be, every time chance you get, as soon as you talk about Assam Hotep, you bring up that he is deemed a pseudo-linguist, and you won't catch Netanyahu if with anybody who's rolling with a pseudo-linguist. You won't catch Netanyahu. If you want to run with a guy that getting spanked on the ass with a paddle, that's on you. But Netanyahu, you won't find Netanyahu with guys getting spanked on that booty with paddles. I don't do that. That's not what I represent. You can't survive in my city. I'm from Baltimore City. You can't survive in my city getting spanked on your ass with a paddle. Personally. That's not African. I don't get down like that. So if the guys want to run with these guys, that's on them. I have nothing bad to say about nobody, but everyone knows you have to pass your peer review. According to peer review, he is deemed a pseudo-linguist, dude. I don't care if he plagiarizing. He got to get past his peer review. If you don't get past that peer review, dude, yo, he should have not one follower. Because I'm going to tell you, European people, they make a distinction with their conspiracy theories. They let you know that this is bullshit. This guy, Alex Jones, is bullshit. This guy, he's a pseudo. Even their own people do that. We the only ones don't care. It's evidence that he's getting smacked on his ass with a paddle years ago. We already know that. It's man, this guy plagiarizes. in a whole community, and they still follow this guy. Yo, you can say he's plagiarized. He can smack him in his ass with a paddle. You can say his work is deemed pseudo-linguistics. They still going to follow him. That's what I was telling Team Osiris. Who cares if he plagiarized? You ain't going to stop this guy. YouTube is a sharing platform where a person have the right to speak their opinions. So that's why you cannot stop this guy. He won't be stopped. I'm just letting you know, man. You know, I understand what you're doing. We already did all of this.
My goal is to inform the people.
Well, you doing. I agree with that. You know, I agree with that. I agree with you doing. If those didn't know that what you're doing, that's why I come on here and say you're doing a good job of doing that. You know, but yo, he didn't pass peer review, brother. He didn't pass peer review. If someone do a peer review on you and you don't respond, I'm gonna give you an instance. Dr. Joe got a peer review on Dr. Joe. There's numerous peer reviews on Dr. Joe that disagrees with Dr. Joe, and that's scientific. That's what we supposed to do in science. There gonna be people who don't agree with Dr. Joe's work. That's fine. That's science. But did not Dr. Joe respond in a peer review fashion? Yes, he responded back in peer review. So that's what I mean, man. And also Dr. Joe have a peer review that they agree with him. You got scientists that agree with Dr. Joe. You got scientists that disagree with him. See, so it's the balance is here. You got, like you said on one of your channels, you said you got those who saying that it means black land and black people. Both, you know, it's out there. So what I'm saying is that he didn't pass a peer review. He is a pseudo linguist. He should get no shine in no platform. Nobody should be accepting this guy until he changes his standings with his peer review. That's my issue. That way we don't got to do homosexual getting smacked in your ass with a paddle videos. We don't have to do all these videos. If people set the standard, yo, get past this peer review for us to entertain you, and that's only right. That's only right. Being a good scientist, man, for our people, man. That's all. I'm not even knocking this guy, Asaram Hotep, and all of these guys' theories. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that Kemet mean repair your land. I don't knock it. I disagree with it scientifically 100%, but I'm not knocking it. If you want to change that, then you have to submit to a peer-reviewed publication. See that? Mm-hmm. Who first ousted Asar as a pseudo? Netanyahu did. I'm the first person who put him as a pseudo.
What year was it when you did that, brother Netanyahu?
2016.
I did it in 2010.
All right, well, both of us
2011, yeah.
And I did it scientifically, though. I did it scientifically.
But I wrote 2 articles dealing with these claims.
Was your articles peer reviewed?
No, wasn't.
All right, then. So, well, that don't count. What I mean by who's the first person who did it? Me and Dr. Reggie. Dr. Reggie got
Brother Reggie. Brother Reggie.
Yeah, Brother Reggie. Brother Reggie got, well, he do have an honorary doctor, so I can say doctor. So Dr. Reggie got him to do a joint on with what's his name? Dr.
Mario Beatty.
Beatty was the first to make it official scientifically. Really, it was Cambone, but Dr. Cambone didn't want it. I guess the recording, you already know about that. I put the recording out scientifically, right?
Yeah, I was asked by someone close to Dr. Cambone to remove the video, so I made it private, out of respect, because
well, whatever, man. That's not that's not none of my business. That's their property. That's how they want to do it. So we respect that. But what I'm saying is that officially, Netanyahu was. I don't want got this guy to go on a linguistic platform with me. That's the only time he's on a linguistic platform. BB Timmy is where he's getting beat up by a professor, Dr. Cambone, which he has it on recording. He's a pseudo, and then me and him debated on a linguistic platform. I had to take it from YouTube to a linguistic platform. See, and once it went to that linguistic platform, all of the Dr. Riccati, all of the scientists said he was wrong, and people still followed this guy, bro. Listen to me. It won't matter what you do, yo. It won't stop people from following him. Just letting you know, man, what you're doing is You might as well build on something else. And anytime you mention him, you should mention his peer review. Dr. Mario Beatty said it in a recording at a conference that he is using the wrong method. We can go over this now. We can look at it now. I have it already up. We can look at this stuff now, him saying this stuff. This is a professor saying this in a credible, at a university, at the ASCAT conference, which is credible. All right? Dr. Cambone did it first, far as in a scientific way, a manner. He looked at his documentation and said this guy is straight pseudo-linguistics. Said it in a recording in 2018 or 16, one of those times. Both of us did, me, you, and Smash. I know, I remember seeing videos. Remember I said I seen videos on you talking. That's why I liked you, because you was getting on him about Hebrew, saying he's a pseudo. I said, yo, this guy, he know what he talked about, Apostolic. I like this guy. I don't agree with everything you say. Nobody agrees everything what everybody says. So I definitely don't agree with everything you say, but I said this guy on point with busting this guy up. He peeping this guy. He's on point. And yes, you had some of the earliest videos calling this guy out a pseudo. I seen it myself. But scientifically, taking it off of this YouTube platform. Now we're up with science. Now we're having Dr. Mario Beatty respond, Dr. Ricchetti, people who have PhDs, master's degrees in these subjects said that this guy is a goddamn pseudo linguist, and all of those guys still support him. That's why I back off from these dudes, man. I don't deal with none of these dudes, man. They follow this guy. They love this guy. And Dr. Issa, none of these guys care that he plagiarized. Like you were saying, they don't care that he got smacked on the ass with a paddle. They don't care that he plagiarized in his books. Now let one of us do that. Let one of us admit to get smacked on the ass with a paddle. Let me and you get our work as pseudo-linguistics. Let us do that and watch what the community do to us. Most of these guys are from a cult. They from the Wapian. It's a difference between reading the scrolls and actually living on the land with this guy, Dr. York. You know, you gotta understand, Ujabu lived with this dude, man. He moved in. He was raised up in that type of culture. That's why his research looked like that. You know, notice that his book looked just like Dr. York scrolls. They don't have in-text citations, table of contents, like the guy who's running around named whatever his name is, Sean or whatever. This dude, man, is the most horrible writer ever. Not peer reviewed. His information not peer reviewed. These guys are doing the same thing Dr. York did. All right, so these guys are strictly from religion, coming into the science, thinking they are scientists. So, man, you know, you're doing right, but I just want to let you know, like I told everybody, yo, if you try to debate this guy, it won't work.
I'm not trying to debate him. I'm not trying to debate him.
It's a cult, though. I mean, look what we were saying about Dr. York. It was a time when I used to follow Dr. York when I was younger, and people used to say, "Yo, that guy's crazy," and I ain't want to hear it. I'm like, Dr. York is crazy and want to fight you over this faggot. See that? And then I seen this nigga, Dr. York. I seen him admit. You feel me? Admit in court that he did these charges, dude. If you didn't do it, you ain't admitting in court. I don't care who you are, especially with kids. So he admitted, and I said, yo, what up? All these guys was telling me the truth about this guy, Dr. York. He's a child molester. And you can tell, look at his work. No sources, no in-text citations. Timo Cybers was correct. Timo Cybers came to me. I'm thinking that Timo Cybers said you can't use other people's joints and in-text. That's what I was thinking. And then I said, yo, I went back to Timo. I said, look, man, y'all correct, yo, but it's not going to do anything. He's going to still have an even larger following, probably. So, man, they don't deal with science, man. You got a guy like Asaram Hotep telling people that Black Africans didn't call themselves Black people. Isn't that ridiculous? We can look at every Yoruba. We can look at Nubian language. Nubian language is older than the transatlantic slave trade itself. It is older than the Saharan slave trade, and they called themselves Black in Nubian language. That's a sub-Saharan language. You see how people don't think. Proto-Bantu. Proto-Bantu is something that Assam Hotep uses in his study, but yet Proto-Bantu was estimated to what? 5,000 years ago, hypothetically. They have numerous items that describe themselves as Black people. Who would do something like that and say we didn't describe ourselves as Black people other than a Hebrew or someone of that a fraternity or something? It's weird, man. So you on point. I believe this is something more deeper than a scholarship thing. This is something that has, I always said that it has something to do with fraternities, and you're saying it now. Yo, I mean, if you can't put that together, it's something bringing these guys unified, because I'm not going to chill out with a plagiarist. I'm not going to be, because my name is at jeopardy. I submit for paper. Did you see my new work in the University of Abume on Kemet?
I've seen the video with the online conference.
Correct.
I did not watch it in full, however, but I went through it.
I'm just saying, did you see my work that got accepted at a history and anthropology department? Peer review. My work got peer reviewed. And you see, nobody talks about peer review data in this community. See that? We don't care about peer review data. You got a young brother, Netchanab. I could be breaking in your house, robbing you, but I'm not. I'm doing work. I'm in school. I'm doing my work, but yet nobody shared my stuff. You get me? And I'm doing peer review data, real linguistic work. Nobody didn't even mention it. Why? Why no one mentioned it? Because it's peer reviewed. These guys are not doing peer review data. So it messes up their money. It would have messed up that little $20 they get every month from, you only get a little bit of money. You don't get no money for this anyway. We don't get money for this. So it messes up their little bit of sales they're getting.
But some of them make a living out of it. I don't want to say any names, but they don't just get $20 a month. For in one live stream, without the monetization that we don't have any insight on, we can see all the super chat and super stickers. They might get like $100-$200 per live stream.
Well, that's no money to me. That I'm from Baltimore City, dude. That's no money. That's like $20 to me. When I say $20, I'm not talking about $200. I'm talking about the range from $20 to like $3,000 is no money to me. I'm from Baltimore, man. Man, I'm gonna tell you, Greenberg got $2 million to do his linguistic work. What you think that little bit of money, that little bit of pseudo money, nothing? Greenberg got millions of dollars to do his scientific data. That's what we're trying to do with Negro Egyptian, is get a full-scale donation where we are going to genetically relate all of the Negro Egyptian languages scientifically in a peer review, so I can pay other scientists. We can have things. That's what we're doing here, man. We're not trying to get $3,000 or whatever the hell they get, the little bit of money that won't do anything anyway. Greenberg got $2 million. So they ain't making no money. That's no money. There's no money to me.
It's something, when you can be independent.
No, it's no money. Independent. I don't agree with independent. See, that's the problem, man.
What I mean, brother, is not having to do the 9 to 5, because I do the 9 to 5. I work full time. Me
too. So what that mean?
Yeah. Well, if both of us didn't have to work full time with the 9 to 5 or
man, look, hours, man, I'm not guessing over. Yo, listen, I'm from Baltimore, man. I don't get. Yo, listen, I don't get it to other people. I don't get it to other people's pockets. They're not making no money.
Yeah, but that's no. They're not making. I understand.
They're not making no money to me. Greenberg got two. Yo, listen, Greenberg got $2 million for one linguistic project with the African languages. These dudes are making chump change. They are not making no money on YouTube. They are making pseudo money. So they got to protect that little bit of money, that little $20 they get. They got to protect it, because if you're not doing peer review, you're not kicking out peer review data. You feel me? You're not doing peer review. You're not going to make no money. You're not going to get a big donation for your scholarship.
But Greenberg got it from his community.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Like yes.
Yes, man. That's what I'm talking about. Is that when you're doing scientific work like me, when me and Professor Sati, after we submit, I'm gonna be starting something to put together, because we are scientists. So we're going to put something together legally where we can get funded for the next project that we do. See? And I'm not talking about $2,000. That's $20 to me. $1,000. I'm talking about 3 million, 4 million to assist with Africa in African linguistics. That's what I'm talking about, brother. That is chump change. $3,000 is like $20 compared to the money they give out for research projects. So it's beyond as little as YouTube, man. Professor Cambone, don't even, we don't even need YouTube for on a BB to me. You don't see me on a YouTube a lot. I just do peer review data and I go back to a BB to me. BB to me is our own stuff from our own Black person. You don't see them over there. They don't support a BB to me. That's our own social platform and it's Scholastic. You don't see these guys over there. You have top of the line linguists, top scientists, physicists, everybody over there. If you're a physicist, why you ain't over there? If you're a linguist, why you ain't over there with the other African linguists building? What's the problem? These guys are not, these guys want this little bit of chump change, $20 YouTube money, right? This little bit of money is driving these guys. Little bit of donations. I'm not selling my soul for a chicken box to hang with no plagiarists. I will not be hanging with nobody that got smacked on that ass with a paddle. And if I find out you got smacked on your ass with a paddle,
No,
bro,
that didn't happen, brother. I don't get down like that. To each his own, but personally, I don't get down like that.
I don't deal with none of that paddle, for each his own, like you said, but you get smacked on your ass with a paddle, that's what you chill with them, man. The Greeks, they are known for that. That's what they did. Smack each other on the ass, had sex with each other. They did secret fraternities. We already know the deal. The guy said you bend over your ankles. I heard that years ago, man. He bent over and touched his ankles, and they came and smacked his ass. They smacked his booty, Doug. That is a European tradition.
Tradition.
So good luck, brother. You're doing the right thing. I tell people I'm not knocking no one's views. And I'm not trying to be biased. If he gets smacked in the ass with paddles, that's what he want to do. But you won't catch Netcha Nab hanging with nobody that deals with that type of stuff. You won't see Netcha Nab hanging with no pseudo-linguist until he fixes stuff, because everybody get rejected. I get rejected. Every sign, even a guy who did Asylum Hotep's peer review on Wikipedia said he even got rejected. Every scientist, that's part of it. So he's a pseudo, because as soon as he get rejected, he start talking bad against peer review. You don't do that. You go back, change your stuff, and you resubmit to get your point across. So, man, you're doing the right thing. I called in to congratulate. This is my off day. I'm submitting for another paper. I work with professors in linguistics. I'm myself a student in linguistics in a university. And we're trying to do major things, getting the right funding, doing it the right way. It's the right way you do things. In this way, the Asylum Hotep way is not the guy is a pseudo.
Yeah.
Do I have to show it?
It's been shown. It's been shown, and now I'm trying to, show the bigger picture.
There is none. Peer review is the highest standard of when you look up peer review is the gold standard of science. There is nothing higher than that. What's higher than that? With a military
in academia, but I'm going beyond academia.
You can't. What can you do to go beyond that? How can you go beyond that?
Well, that's why. Well, you can watch the video, and
man, get out of here. I'm talking about. This what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
You can't. You can take it or leave it. Mm-hmm.
No, listen. Hypersonic missiles. All right, the shit that Russia used. Hypersonic missiles on Ukraine. Do you know in my school I go to American Public University, American Military University, AMU. Do you know we studied that in peer review, hypersonic missiles, before he used it? Do you know everything that's being used in war, the chemicals that's put in your food, the dye that's put in the meats, the chemicals that's used on plants go through peer review. That is the top gold standard of science. You can't change shit on YouTube. Nothing is higher than peer review. If you want to change Afroasiatic, you crying about it on YouTube ain't going to change it. You have to change it like Einstein. You have to do what Einstein did. Einstein submitted his papers to the peer review system when Einstein wasn't even in the field. Einstein wasn't in the field. He wasn't even active. He was working at a corner store. And then he submitted his papers, and then he changed history. So nothing is higher. Your weapon system, army weapon systems, agricultural systems for chemicals, everything we getting, everything you see, even this program, which is ran by web crawlers, everything like that is ran of peer review. Period. Nothing you can do. The internet was in peer review first before you're using it. YouTube platform was in peer. Everything was. Stop it. You can't trump peer review. So if not you, but if this guy think he can trump peer review, that's the gold standard. Dr. Joke was in peer review. Dr. Joke. When you look at online journal, what is that? That's a blind review. Peer review. He's fake. Yo, listen. You ain't doing peer review. Yo, you can't be around me. You think you can do something higher than peer review? Matter of fact, those faggot fraternities, those, excuse me, I ain't mean to say faggot. You know, everybody's sensitive with these homosexuals lately. But anyway, homosexuals in Baltimore, they hardcore. We call them faggots, they don't get mad. But anyway, these homosexual fraternities, that's also are in college. That's in college. When you go to these colleges, those same fraternity members are the same members who are running the Europeanized peer review systems. So how would we trump a Europeanized peer review system if they have these fraternity dudes all in cahoots with each other are running these systems? See that? How can we trump that? We trump it by going to other peer review systems, because the peer review in Europe, they don't get along with the peer review in America. Do people know this? The European linguists that's in Europe, in London, UK, their historical linguistics, they don't like the Americanist historical linguistics. It's two different types of linguistic schools. So the only way you trump a peer review, you have to do it by peer review. You can't just get on YouTube with your data. This is what Assad don't understand. So, man, he signed his own death certificate, and I ain't saying physically, I mean false academically.
Yeah.
He's done. I'm trying to tell you, we don't even have to do these videos on this guy, because the more videos we do,
it's not about him, right? That video is not about him. You know, I'm addressing different topics. You know,
you're addressing them getting smacked on the ass.
in passing, because that's just informing the people, because he's not the only one. We have other people from the conscious community, and possibly we have some doctors, some people who's teaching our people, and some of them are in Africa. So I'm wondering, is it what they're trying to implement in Africa? Are they trying to get our African brothers?
Yes, they're implementing this shit in Africa.
And I'm not accusing. I'm just asking questions. It's important for us to have that in mind.
I can answer your question. Let me answer your question. Yes, they are incorporating this nonsense in Africa. Yes, that's what they do. That's what they do. You're right. They take this bullshit here, and then they run over to Africa where people are not as educated, don't have a lot of funding for universities. They have a lot of good universities in Africa, but they go over there, and the people are a little bit gullible. They're trying to get information, and yes, they implement this bullshit over there. Yes, that's why Africa is fucked up. I deal with the Africans over there. You know that all the time. You feel me? So yes, we have, like Dr. Campbell stated, internal enemies and external. We have the enemies that's external, and then we have the internal enemies, just like Kemet. Kemet had internal wars with other Black Egyptians. internal wars with other Nubians. See, other Nubians are also Kemet to you. And that's another lie that these fraternities push in America, is that Nubia is separate than Kemet. That's no such thing. Nubians are Kemet to you. They
The
are
first,
that.
the first name is Tasseri, right?
Yes. You see how
You
they
know,
do?
and you know what's funny is that even their own guy that they label the father of history, we have his testimony, and he described ancient Egyptians as black. Champollion, in his writing, he described some artifact, and he said the Egyptians and the Africans are portrayed in the same manner, which could not be otherwise. And he even said, I'm ashamed to admit it, but those guys with tattoos, some real savages, it's us, it's the Europeans. And then he said, we need to have the courage to admit it. But he said, at least that
We don't
shows
got
us
it,
how far we've gone. And that's
brother.
Champollion.
We
They
don't
will not
got to
say, they
forget
will not say that
Champollion.
Champollion is Afro. Yeah.
Forget Sean. Listen what I said. You said it
But that's
correctly.
their guy.
No,
Yeah.
no, you said it correct. Stay. Don't mention them. You don't have to mention Champollion. Don't mention them. What I'm trying to tell you is, when you said that Tasseti is the first Sapat, it conversation is over. There is no conversation. What's the conversation? The Tasseti is the first Sapat, dude. This is Bruce Williams did a peer review on it. I'm gonna do a peer review on that just to show people that, yo, we don't have to do all that back and forth with these guys. You understand? Because, like you said, Tasseti is the first Sapat. That's the first Sapat. What are we talking about? The first Sapat of Upper Kemet, of Tashamahu. Tashamahu was created. When Tashamahu was created, you have Tamihu, the lower regions, you have the upper regions. The upper regions are from the first Sapat on up. Down. The first Sapat down. It is called the front land. So Nubians are Kemet to you. When we are saying Kemet, when we look in the inscriptions, what is Kemet consist of? Tashamahu and Tamihu. What does Tashamahu consist of? The first Sapat, like you stated, is Nubia. Case closed. It's no other case. This is the University of Chicago. We got this shit in peer-reviewed data. We shouldn't be even entertaining this shit unless they are submitting peer-reviewed data to change that. And they never will. You can't change that. So I don't care what Champollion says, even though I love Champollion, but I don't care what he says. I only care what the Medinetra says. The Medinetra says that the Nubians are Kemet. Nehisu New Kemet mean what? Nehisu of Kemet. They are citizens. They are Himnet. Himnet means citizen, indigenous citizen, sun people of Kemet. These are what the text say. This is what peer review say. University of Chicago. Every peer review known to man says it in science. No, man, I'm not. That's why you don't see me with these guys. These guys are weak. They're weak for YouTube. They got these fraternity link going on. All these guys are in some type of black Masonic shit that I beyond me.
Fruitful activities.
Fruitful activities, and I'm not claiming all of them are gay. I got a lot of Freemason homeboys, and I respect that. I'm not saying that is gay. When I say fraternity, I don't mean the Freemasons and all of that. I'm just saying these guys are linked up in some type of weird system that is beyond me. That's why I'm outed. They don't deal with me because I deal with Professor Cambone. Professor Cambone, I deal with Professor Sati, Nazir Sati from the University of Khartoum. And I have real papers. We're doing real research. Why I'm not being supported? I'm doing research with Nubian language, full sub-Saharan African language, and Medu Neter, and I'm submitting to a journal. I don't get no support. None. So it had to be some type of free fraternity thing. I think it's a Hebrew thing. Some type of offshoot fraternity. That's what I'm thinking. It's some type of Masonic black Mason. The black Masons, they don't even respect them anyway. So it's some type of secret fraternity thing going on that's beyond us.
Mm-hmm.
For me to chill with a plagiarist, like for example, brother, if you know I plagiarize, if everybody saying that you never plagiarize, and you say nothing that you plagiarize, and I say I did, and you point it out, right? You point it out to me, and I say, well, as a man, I'm gonna take that down, yo. I'm gonna try to fix that. That's the right thing to do. Take your stuff down, fix it, right? Yo, we told everyone in this community said this guy was plagiarizing, bro. Everybody,
And he
and
hasn't
it,
owned up. He hasn't owned up to it since.
yo, nobody cared. They didn't care. I was like, what the? So I said, yo, do y'all know this guy is lying on joke? He's lying. I had to take this guy all the way to a BB Toomey. Nobody cares. They still follow him. You find out some more. Like he say Allah, nobody cared when he said that. That is important.
Allah is in the Egyptian text.
Yo, that is dangerous and important. That is dangerous.
Rise a volcano. He even said Hebrews are Egyptians, and I have it on tape.
It's not even a such thing as a Hebrew. Listen, bro. Listen, man. And when we study Akkadian language as a linguist, you know I'm a linguist, so I'm a real one, and I deal with linguists, right? First of all, Hebrew, no such thing in Kemet is a Hebrew. It don't exist. I don't even get back and forth. It don't exist until you show me it exists, and then once you say that it exists, you got to publish your paper in a period. You still got work to do. Until that, I don't entertain it. You got to get past that. It don't exist. The term Hebrew is come from the Akkadian. Akkadian is called Old Semitic. That's the oldest Semitic language on the planet. Akkadian. The term do not exist in Medu Neter. Yes, you have borrowings, Semitic borrowing. People be using borrowings, and they think these borrowings are cognates. Cognates and borrowings are two different things. Just because Arabic is similar, Hebrew has similar words like amen. That don't mean amen of Kemet is the same. They are derived from each other. This guy said Allah is in when he did that, bro.
Allah is in the Egyptian text,
bro. When he did that, first he tried to take out Job, undercut. He tried to take out Job, and he did it sneaky. The way he's saying that he didn't do any work. I mean, me and you can go into.
He guessed. He said that he guessed.
He assumed
because he met someone who told him that the vocabulary of the Wolof is from the countryside. The city Wolof is not the same as the countryside. It's like you in America, and you're gonna say the English of the city and the countryside is not the same. I mean, you might have some slight variation.
Man, first of all, I'm a linguist. You should ask me is that a good argument? I'm a linguist.
It's not, because he's talking about an unidentified.
No, I'm not saying on your part. I said from a linguistic. I'm a linguist. I deal with linguistics. I keep telling you that. So you can ask me that question and see what is my answer. My answer to that is field research. Do anybody know what field research is? Field research, you go out. I'm gonna tell you in linguistics. This is the rule in linguistics. In most of these African languages, these dictionaries, we can't get all of the information. A lot of the African language haven't been studied that good. Everyone knows this in the linguistic field. I'm in an African linguistic field of study. So if the dictionaries are not accurate, for example, you have the Nubian dictionary from Armbruster. Let's check that out. Hold on. This is the Nubian dictionary from Armbruster. Should I have my entire work that I'm submitting to a peer review depend on Armbruster? Armbruster's white. See that? So what do I have to do to get this to be scientific, to test and see if this is correct? I would do like Job. I would do like Job did. I will go actually to the villages of the people, and I will gather linguistic data, and I will put the transcription to it, the IPA. This is linguistic rules. This is what I mean is that we shouldn't have people that are not in the field of linguistics trying to break down linguistics. That is not no argument. That's not an argument. An argument is that okay, he got the vocabulary from the Wolof people. He's supposed to do that. He's a linguist. I don't pose to depend on no goddamn lexicon. You know where I got my info from? Dr. Nazir Sati gave me my data on Nubian Dongalawi. He told me don't depend on this because they get the pronunciations wrong, which is expected from a European, from someone who doesn't really know how it sounds. See? So I had to go to Dr. Sati, who is a Nubian native, and I got my vocabulary from Dr. Sati, and I compared his vocabulary with this.
You know, it reminds me. There's a European linguist. He lived in Nigeria and maybe some other country, maybe Niger, like you say in English. And he was familiar with the Hausa language because he lived in those area for years, but I forgot his name. You see, so he did a lot of work about Hausa and other languages as well. I don't recall the others.
So that's correct. What you're saying is that. What I'm saying to you, brother, is that Dr. Joke can do that. It's only a guy like Assad that was make up some pseudo shit, and he got people believing that crap. Yo, you can go. You don't have to depend on these books, dictionary. These are only dictionaries. I'm about to create a dictionary, so it's only a dictionary to help linguists out to compare. We need the oldest stage of that particular language. If we can't find an oldest stage of Yoruba, we gotta go to the Yoruba dictionaries that's in peer review, and also we can go to the Yoruba country and get vocabulary items. Just as Joke is a genius on a level of Einstein to me. That's what I think. In my opinion, is the guy is on a level of a black Einstein, and he's that serious. He knows linguistics. That's the rules.
And he made his comparison back in 1954/1955. Yep. So that was like 70 years ago. And of course, linguistics has changed since. It has evolved some, new methods and new information. But he was a pioneer, So
his information is proven correct in 2022 because I submitted my paper and it got accepted. Me and Professor Sati submitted. We are using Jope's foundation of comparing.
So he was on point.
So we corrected his errors because, as you stated back then, there just was a little bit of errors that he did wrong, but he didn't really do anything wrong. He just did with the best information he had at the time. At that time, and science changes. Yeah. Science changes. So
it evolves.
It changes. You may have a peer review on Afroasiatic. Like I tell people on Afroasiatic. Yes, I accept Afroasiatic only as a working hypothesis. It don't supposed to be accepted more than what that is. For example, see this problems. This is 1966. This is Europeans from the UK. Europeans from the UK are better at linguistics to me than Europeans in America. That's my opinion. But I have facts to prove it, though, because this is 1966, the problems in the classifications of the African languages. See that? So Afroasiatic, and this is 1966. So from 1966 all the way to 2022, Afroasiatic have issues. So Jope is in the right, even if he's right or wrong in his method, whatever people have to say, they're not submitting peer reviews. So I kind of, throw that out. I don't care what you say because you're not doing a peer review on Jope. Only a few people did a peer review on Jope. Only like 2-3 people. Everybody did something on Greenberg. Look, started from 1966. Only a few people did something on Jope. So I'm going to, as a linguist, I'm going to side with Jope because he had less negativity in his methodology than the methodology that Greenberg has in his stuff. So as a scientist, unbiasedly, Jope have errors. Scientifically, yes. Who cares? That's the purpose of science. Science is for me to take Jope's work to make it better, not to say he didn't do this on YouTube. He didn't do this, and you ain't doing no peer review or nothing. That means that it's an underlying, it's something up with you, man. You whip some type of organization. Something is going on. That's what I thought. So see this.
I shared your post on Facebook. I shared it on my Twitter when you dealt with this book.
See that problem? How many people? So when the people start talking about Afroasiatic, how many people know that there's problems in it? See that?
I would say in the majority of people don't know. I mean, they will go on Wikipedia and just read those articles, and that's what those brothers, from the pseudo killers. When I heard them say read a Wikipedia article, and they said, well, Diop's work was labeled as pseudo. That's when I
No,
called
it
in.
wasn't labeled as pseudo.
Yeah, I called in. You're just like, slow down,
No, it wasn't.
And but the conversation was still cordial. But I think sometimes people rely too much on Wikipedia. Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. First of all, Joe, I did a video on that on Joe's work that the guy who peer reviewed it said he didn't peer review everything in Joe's work. He only peer reviewed the stuff that was incorrect, in which I agree with him. I told you that is stuff that's incorrect with Joe. There is it's only a little bit of stuff because he didn't use the comparisons to prove his case. He used it what all historical linguists use, which is morphology. See that? And the morphology was where? In a peer-reviewed journal. It's on Uncle Line today. The morphology for Wolof and Medu Nature is where? In a peer-reviewed journal where nobody is doing peer reviews on. How the hell are you going to debate morphology? I'm a linguist, dude. You can't do that. If you prove in 22 different forms, Joe proved 22 different Sejm F forms, dude. That is major. And other European linguists said that was major. The guy that did a peer review, didn't even touch on that shit. He wasn't going to burst and stuff like that. And then the guy who did the peer review said, yo, Dr. Joe is serious. He said he was serious. So come on, man. These guys, they better not deal with me. First thing I'm gonna ask you, what are your qualifications to speak on this issue? First, are you in school? Do you have a degree? Are you in school? Are you submitting work? If you can't get past that, I'm not even interested with what you have to say. So I got your back, man. I support you. I know people think they don't like me and whatever, but I'm with Joe all the way. This is science. I'm unbiased as a scientist, a student in college, a student that studied the subject matter. I'm with Joe. Joe is correct in 2022. This world is slowly going to Dr. Joe's stance anyway. They prove mummies. They proved mummies that have sub-Saharan elements. 11 mummies, 11 different mummies was proven in peer review. Nobody said nothing about that. Nobody talks about that. 11 mummies from 2 different phases of Egyptian. I always teach people chronology. You have Old Egyptian, Middle Egyptian. You have different chronology. So they used the chronology of the Ramesside period, and then they used the chronology of Amana. See? And all of them was 41 to 7 to 93% sub-Saharan African. Using STR methodologies. No one said anything about that. No one even we should be building on those topics and saying, yo, I'm gonna do a peer review on this. I'm gonna be doing a peer review on that. We should be flooding peer review, science, changing these standings.
And Diop, asked for, so like 1 millimeter square, from those mummies or royal mummies, and for the most part, they refused to give it to him because he, as a physicist, was able to determine the melanin level. But later on, some people got access to some of the mummies, but instead of people, dealing with those findings, those scientific findings,
Yes.
they rather share those facial reconstructions of Tutankhamun and
Right.
and
They don't get into Job's scientific data when he, like you said, he actually tested the skin of these mummies. But I'm not going to focus on Job. I'm not a religious person. I don't worship Job. He is a ingenious scientist to me, meaning that he's going to have faults. So my mission is to work on his faults to prove his stance even stronger in the future. That's what I worry about. I don't worry about worshiping this guy. He's not someone for me to worship. He's a man but his legacy of science is to be praised and for all of us to know about and not try to bash.
Mhm.
You're wrong for doing that. Anybody who bashes this guy would have done nothing better in that time period.
Mhm.
This guy went to the top of the line, man, and he was around the top.
And as soon
Also,
as
we should talk about UNESCO. We should bring up the recommendations that UNESCO said for us to do. And I want to see how many people is doing the recommendations that Dr. Joke told us to do. Dr. Joke told us to make international teams, white and black and Asian. Everybody come together to tell the truth about Kemet. He said that. Dr. Joke said that, look, we need international research teams. Do y'all see Netanyahu doing international research teams? Yes or no?
yes, with Dr. Nasi,
Dr. Nazi and who else? Dr. Campbell.
Dr. Campbell.
Yeah, that international. Dr. Nazi from Sudan, Campbell, Ghana, me, America. That's an international team that we're building. We're doing what UNESCO told us to do. They didn't say go on YouTube and get your ass smacked. Oh, okay. Here go UNESCO recommendation. UNESCO recommendation said go and join a fraternity and get your ass smacked by a paddle. After you get your ass smacked by a paddle, you claim that Joke is wrong and he didn't even do no work at all. And you debate that Kemet means black people. That's what you. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said he told us to build international teams with each other from France, from Americas to the diaspora to Africa and up to Asia, and us to tackle this issue together. That's what he said. The other scientists at UNESCO also agreed with Obenga. They didn't agree with Joke, but agreed with Obenga. They said that Obenga premise of comparing Medu Neter with African languages is legit. Do it. New research should be in that factor. Now tell me, brother, how many dudes, including all of those weirdos you named, are doing that?
Well, well, Dr. Campbell is doing that. Well,
No,
I'm sorry,
include
no, not to my knowledge, not to my knowledge.
don't include
No,
Dr. Campbell and you and
yeah, no,
me.
I did not answer correctly first. No, none of these guys, those guys, they're onto something else indeed, and I'm trying to, because first, with the guy who's going to debate Jabari. First, I thought that he's probably founded by some Christian apologists, but now I'm kind of thinking that there's a bigger picture. So that's why now I'm trying to connect the dots.
Mhm.
So, and once I do that, I can focus on other things. But just want to address that and then focus on other thing. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but then indeed, yes, that is a clue as to why those people are so popular.
Facts.
They're part of a powerful and influential entity. So it's a matter of choices. It's a matter of, how you want to get down.
Yeah.
I know that Asar said, like somebody stated in the chat, he was talking well to that same guy that Garfield dude. He said Ned and them has no discipline. And after I left Garfield's channel, he waited for me to leave to say, Shaka or Maaf, whatever my YouTube account name. He said that I don't have any integrity, and he used other words. So I mean, he's very good at saying this guy doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he's an amateur, he's an enthusiast, and he had the nerve to make a critique about a specialist. So it's like me. I'm reading books about medicine, and I'm going to write a paper critiquing the work of
That's
a
right.
medical doctor, someone who hold a PhD in
Right.
medicine,
That's
and
right.
it's only us doing that. I don't see other communities doing that.
Correct. Yes.
So
That's what you about to do? A paper, a peer review on medicine?
no, I'm just making the analogy. Sam Himmelfeld doesn't have a single degree in linguistics,
You
but
don't have
yet
to have a degree in linguistics.
and he's not peer reviewed either.
But
And
can I build with you just a little bit? I want you to accept only 3 P's. That's what I do. Either
and he's not in school either,
yes, that's
learning
what I mean.
linguistics.
Either
Yeah.
you have a degree, all right. That means you have advanced skill in linguistics, or you are in school learning. That also count as knowing the linguistics.
Mm-hmm.
How long you was in it? I was in it for 2 years. The VLC program for Marlsboro University in historical linguistics, buddy. Also, I work with a professor in linguistics, two of them, Dr. Cambone
And
and
Dr. Nazi.
and Dr. Nazir Sati. And I published for papers. Okay, so
That's peer review.
even these three, if you ain't doing those three, what the heck? And I'm not even saying the two is on the level of a PhD. The PhD is on another level.
Yeah.
You understand me? I'm just saying at least have these three before you begin to do the stuff he do. Yo, he's a pseudo linguist. He's dangerous to the black community. He's the most dangerous black man on this planet right now because I'm gonna tell you, I'm saying this for a reason. Is that if he have a platform to shine, I'm telling you, bro, it's going to be terrible.
Those guys, they are normalizing being pseudos.
Yes, yes.
They are making pseudo cool.
I'm proud of Unc. I'm actually proud of Unc. I'm proud of Unc. And my brother Smash. Of course, Smash is going to not agree. Smash been like this. Me and Smash been together since we was, man, Smash the one told me my first book. He said, I want you to change it, Neb. It's not, I don't like it. It's not good. And X Smash, what I do? I took it down. When I sent it to Smash to get reviewed, I took it immediately down and worked on my craft to get better on myself. I'm not perfect, man. I have faults. I have errors.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
And I don't care either. You know what I mean? I like being in the position I am because they give younger brothers say, yo, if he can do that, yo, this dude, you know, he was serious. So if he can do it, I can do better.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of Smash, Rockwell, I'm proud of y'all brothers. Even Dr. Reggie, you know, Dr. Reggie, he get on my nerves a little bit, but
he's on the fence.
I'm gonna tell you about Baba Reggie, man. Why I don't.
He's on the fence.
I'm gonna say
he's dissing Kemetic people all the time.
No, I don't think he's.
Oh, he
ain't dissing him.
Well,
he ain't dissing Kemetic people.
He said bullshit spirituality, but every time I bring up Dr. Ricketti, I mean, because she's a Hemet Necher, which is a priest, you know, or priestess, you know, a Kemetic priestess. Then he's like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna, you know, touch on that. He ain't
gonna disrespect an elder like that. Dr. Reggie don't do that.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is that, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I don't even want to, you know, address, you know.
Let me tell you my stance, man. I'm gonna tell you my stance.
I mean, hold on. Let me ask you, just out of curiosity, did you see what happened on Garfield's platform when he was trying to refute my information? And for 50 minutes, he went on Google looking for articles to refute, and he did not even watch what I had to say, you know. But it's okay.
You talking about the Virgin? I know I watched your video and I liked it.
Yeah.
On
the ISIS being a virgin. Yeah. Because, you know, Garfield issued a challenge. Now he's, you know, I don't care about the money, you know what I'm saying? I just put that, you know, try to put a little bit of fun into it as well. But I provided the source, which is the, you know, the Waterberg, as people say. And I was expecting people to just go to the Waterberg and dispute the definition, the meaning. But they did not do that. They went to the TLA, they went to Vigus, and then they have the nerve to label, try to make me look like a pseudo. But Smash Rockwell, that you mentioned, Jonathan Owens, he has some integrity. Good. Yeah, and he made a video, and he's cool with those cards. That's why I left a message.
Yeah, I'm kind of cool with.
Say,
listen, bro.
I respect your integrity. He's cool with them, but he said you're wrong on this. You know. And
I'm kind of cool. Yeah. I'm on your side with this more. So, okay, I understand what they're saying as well because Asset had nothing to do with ISIS. They only borrowed the Hebrew borrowed the iconography. I have a peer review on it. So, like I said, I only do peer reviews.
You said I said has nothing to do with ISIS. You mean
no? I ain't say that.
Have anything to do with
bro. Listen.
Yeah.
Let me talk, right? I ain't say you. I said people are saying that. And people are saying, I can show you videos of numerous people think that a set, Mary is a copy or continuity. Let's say religious continuity and from ISIS.
That's not my stance, you know. I was just dealing. Yeah.
I ain't say that was yours. I just said that.
Of course.
That's what people are saying.
Yeah.
I told you I agree with your stance, but for the people who think that they are, I have a peer review. I'm gonna show a peer review. In a peer review of the expert who's doing the cultural analysis, I agree with that. I agree with the expert. Unless you show me that you're an expert in that particular subject and have a peer review to combat that peer review, then I go on your side. But yo, Murray and ISIS had nothing to do with each other. That is what they call chance similarities, and they borrowed the iconography from Kemet. Hebrew borrowed Kemetian iconography. Remember, in linguistics, we have what we call cultural diffusion, meaning
And text
that
as well, like the great hymn to Aten and Psalm.
you gotta let me build though.
Yeah,
You
no,
get the
just that was
point.
just this sentence, bro.
Well,
Keep
what I'm
going.
saying, yeah, what I'm saying is that in linguistics we have cultural diffusion or aerial diffusion, meaning that if two groups of people are come in contact with each other, elements will get borrowed,
Yeah.
no matter if you like it or not. All right, so from thousands of years of Semitic being around, Kemetu, blacks being around them, certain elements was borrowed. Also in Medinetic texts, we took over Western Syria. People forgot we took over Asia. We took over Asia. We literally conquered Western Asia. We was in Western Asia. Our deities was in Western Asia, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This is in inscriptions. So there were certain elements that was passed down to those people that were Kemetu elements. We call that borrowing. Does that mean that they are the inventors of it? No, it's just borrowing. Now with this ISIS and Murray thing, right? ISIS had nothing to do with Murray. Murray had only thing that was borrowed is iconography. That's it. The women sitting on a thing and all of that. That was the only thing that was borrowed. But the storyline is strictly Semitic origin. It has nothing to do with us. It had nothing to do with ISIS.
Maybe Greek, but Semitic.
On your note, I agree with you. Is that yes, maiden, virgin? Come on, we're using the English language. When you go to the TLA, the TLA uses the water breach anyway. The water breach. So the water breach.
Sorry, if you go ahead.
The water breach is the best dictionary I use. Even when I submit papers, I use the water breach. And the water breach is a junkagati, I think, for virgin.
Yeah, junk for something like that.
Meshin for maiden and junkagati for virgin.
Virgin.
It can be either way. Who's telling someone they can't use virgin? Come on, it's ridiculous.
And that's what Reggie did. And Reggie even stated, that I was using some European book as if he doesn't quote European. They said that at least 3 times. He said, I don't care what the European has to say. So he played the race card.
Well, I think Baba Reggie is saying that from a Christian standpoint, these dictionaries were written from Christianity and us being Egyptology.
Right. He didn't really say that, but I'm not trying to get you to condemn Reggie. I dare.
You gotta let me talk, though. You gotta let me build
go ahead.
on what I'm as a linguist. I am a scholar. I do submit papers scientifically and peer reviewed. So at least hear my side.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
What I'm saying, for as my profession goes, in Egyptology, we are not trained to only focus, to be unbiased, to only focus on what dictionary entry says. For example, look at the word Kemet. Kemet, in every European dictionary, they say it means Egyptian. They say Egyptian. Do you agree that Kemet means Egyptian?
No.
I did. So he may not agree that that word himwit, whatever that word is, Hwinnet,
yes,
means virgin. That's what he's saying. Is he wrong? No.
Is he wrong?
No. You're not wrong either.
Maybe if you have time to watch it, he said way more than that. He repeatedly said, "Oh, these guys using European. I don't want to hear what the Europeans
but
have
what
to
I'm
say."
saying, I heard it, bro. I listened to it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I listened to it. I already listened to it. We can pull it up. I can prove I listened to it. I'll pull it up. What he said, exactly what he said. He said that he's saying everything that Dr. Ricchetti taught him, and Dr. Ricchetti taught us. For example, I'm using an example for you, which is Kemet, is in all dictionaries to mean Egyptian. They don't say black; it did mean black people. It even mean black land. or Egyptian. That's it.
Well, in a water bug, they say black land.
You want to look it up.
Uh,
No, I'm
well,
talking about when it means Egyptian, bro. Don't. I'm not talking about the top one. That came later with it mean
mm,
black. I'm talking about Kemetiu in Old
mm,
Egyptian. They
mm,
said it means Egyptian. That's
mm,
Old Egyptian. That's before it meant black land.
mm,
See that? This is what I mean by chronology. As a linguist, I stick to chronology. Why would I be talking about an end of an intermediate term for a Old Egyptian term? I'm talking Old Egyptian. That is the oldest where it was just being described as a people before it was being described as a land.
mm.
So I'm not talking about late intermediate to middle Egyptian on black land. That's forget that. Erase that because that is later in chronology. That's deal with the earliest chronology in the Old Egyptian. In Waterbuch, they say that Kemetiu is what? Egyptian. They don't say black people.
Mm,
They say Egyptian.
mm.
That's what he means. All right. So
Well,
let's put things in perspective.
that's not what he said, but it's okay. We have the right to
No, I
disagree.
know it. I know it
Yeah,
said. I know that's not what he said,
yeah.
but I'm saying that's what he meant. Dr. Reggie's speech skills, man. Come on, man. His speech skills is horrible, but that's my. I respect him. I get mad at him as well, but I don't think he's saying it like that. I
Mm,
trust me. He's a student of Dr. Ricchetti. I'm a student of Dr. Ricchetti.
mm,
She don't teaches us to go to Waterbuch and say, "Oh, this is what it." No, that's not how. So he may disagree. I'm just saying that I don't agree with him. I'm not saying I agree with him, but I'm saying that's what he's probably trying to say when I
mm.
listen to it. He's saying that's like when we look in Kemetiu, we look up that word, it's Egyptian. It's Egyptian. And I don't care what dictionary, and you don't say nothing about it. See that? Nobody says anything about it, but me and you know that's incorrect because
Mm.
in Old Egyptian, the word Egyptian wasn't even created yet. See that? It didn't exist. The word Egyptian did not exist. All right. So how can a word that didn't exist and is derived from a whole different word in late period of Egyptian
Mm.
to be a meaning for a old Egyptian
For
word?
other word, yes. Hudkapta, Aiguptos in Greek and then Egypt in
Facts.
English.
See that?
And
So you go ahead.
yeah, the now I think his username is Jehuti Ma'at, and I was on Smash Rockwell's platform, and Jehuti Ma'at is agreeing with you know Asahim or fake and Ujawi Sefet, and I asked him what does Kemet mean, and he said Egypt. So we went, and obviously why is he saying that? Because he and asking what does the Kem mean in
Mhm.
Kemet, and you wouldn't say that it means black because of their claim that was influenced or inspired by Jean-Claude Mboli, who is not a linguist either.
No,
So just
Emboli
because
is not Emboli. Dr. Emboli, who he is a doctor, so you got to say doctor before his name for respect. Dr. Emboli or Okanini Emboli, we say Okanini in the BBTME for doctor. Okanini Emboli is not a linguist. That's true. He is not a linguist, but he do have linguistic skills. He is not peer reviewed, and also he's a good friend of mine, so I'm not going to say anything too bad about
mm,
Nini.
I'm not trying to diss him. Just wanted to say that he's not a linguist, just like you said.
Yeah, you're correct. He's not a
Mm,
linguist.
mm,
Um, his work is pseudo linguistics. Yes. He didn't even compare to Coptic. He avoided Coptic for a reason. See, when we go to Coptic, brother, what do Kimmy mean in Coptic? Me and you know
um,
what do Kimmy
Black.
mean in Coptic? What else? That's not all it means. What else it mean in Coptic? Sahidic
Well,
or Hedic?
if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
the T was dropped from Kemet, so
That means
Kemi can
anything. No, look,
can mean
listen, that don't
also.
mean anything. That don't mean
Okay.
anything. I'm saying what it means in Coptic. It means black people in Coptic. Yes, it can mean black people in Coptic
Mm,
because it's plural. The grammar of Coptic is that the adjective is just like the adjective functioning in Old Egyptian, Middle Egyptian, and all the phases. That adjective can be nouns. See, when you skip grammar rules, people fall into all type of That's why they don't talk to me. I only stick with grammar rules. In these grammar rules, all adjectives can be what? Nouns. Nouns are what? Persons, places, and things. That's what it says in the grammar book. Peer review data says that. So if you're trying to change what the grammar rules are saying, I'm definitely ain't going to listen to you. I don't care how good you are, how well spoken a dude is on YouTube. It won't fly with me. You have to change that grammar rule. Now, what I'm saying is that me and you know that this grammar rule applies to all of the phases of Old Egyptian, even the final stage and the genetically related languages of Sahidic, Bohatic, and all of the Coptic variants there is. So when we look into the Coptic, what do we find? Kim. Kim meaning what? Black. And we find Kim with meaning else. Plural. It can be plural. It can mean blacks with a plural. That's what it says. And then it says it can be singular for black people. So if it's in Coptic, what are we having this conversation for, right? Why am I entertaining Mboli? Why am I entertaining Asar? They failed to use Coptic. When I read Mboli's whole book. And after I read his book, I contacted him. I even have proof of the contact years ago. And I said, Mboli, you forgot to compare black people in Coptic. And he said, thank you. And he didn't change it. He still is set on his goal of promoting that. And then he admitted that I changed his view of it. Now he may have a different view. And that's why Osar and them don't deal with him like that no more. Because he agreed with me. You want to see his statements agreeing with me that it means black? He said, I am correct.
Yeah. You showed the face. It was on Facebook, right? The communication, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember you showed it. Yes.
He said I'm correct because he forgot. A lot of people don't know how to read the Crumbs Coptic Dictionary, and they get confused because that's an acronymic type of book. It deals with a lot of acronyms and stuff like that. So in all of the Coptic languages, every last one of them have Kim meaning black, and then it has Kim as black people for plural, and then it can have for black people or thing. That's what it says in a peer-reviewed data. Crum Dictionary is a peer-reviewed Coptic dictionary, as the Water Beach is. So when we get into Dr. Reggie, Baba Reggie may be, I mean, look, I take your side on this, but at the same time, I'm being unbiased here. And Baba Reggie is not all wrong either, because he is a student of Dr. Ricchetti, and we do not go by no damn dictionary entries like that. We have to have other things for proof. A lot of those guys, even the Water Beach, TLA, all of them, they are using Christian people who are writing these data, and that affects the meaning. That's why Egyptian can never mean black people in these European dictionaries. They are Christians who are writing it. So just to be fair for Baba Reggie, at least be open-minded to what he's saying. And a lot of people, let me tell the audience that just because you may agree with, like I agree with my brother here more so than all the other people, but that don't mean you can't be open-minded to hear what another person have to say and be closed-minded. We are science. This is science.
But I mean, his display of refuting me and trying to make me appear as pseudo, saying that I did not use the right methodology when he admitted himself that he did not even watch the video. We don't do that.
That's true.
And when Garfield said my art forever, Reggie said Greek forever or forever Greek, so he put that in. And all of this, why? Because previously, I asked him, did a bird have sex with a man? And he got in his feelings because I said that. And I mean, I always let it be known that I'm not on the Jabari hate bandwagon. I have stated my criticism that indeed, as a Kemetic priest, he should have a higher level of Medu Nature. However, he still has some knowledge of the Medu Nature, and I have noticed that he has learned. He knows more than he used to, and he is learning. We cannot fault our people for having a level that is not high, and
I think Baba Reggie, because I know about that argument between him and Bari, and I agree with Baba Reggie on this. I don't agree with Jabari on anything. I'm just letting you know that. The reason why I don't, because I'm a historical linguist, obviously. He don't know how to read Medu Neter that well. His Coptic, horrible. Another thing that's horrible. And the reason why I agree with him, I don't have a problem with his reconstruction or his belief. His belief is a reconstruction, and you have to tell people this is a reconstruction. You don't tell people that this is authentic Egyptian. You don't do that. Or all Egyptian Nile Valley. You don't do that, man. You don't look at the pictures on the wall and carry on. That's not what those people represented in the scriptures. I'm not against Robert Jabari. I actually like him. He's the Mayweather of the big
Conscious
world.
community.
Yeah. So I like the Mayweather. I like how he busting them. I love when he busts Garfield, and Garfield was like fluke. I don't even mention his. He's a pussy. I don't even mention his name to me. He's a pussy cat. So I don't deal with Garfield.
And he doesn't stand on his own. He always needs other people to back
Well,
him up.
to me, I don't like him because he supports pseudo linguistics. He know
Yeah,
that
and plagiarism as well. You know, when I
Yes,
brought that up, it's like, oh no, I don't want to talk about that.
listen. We brought that up years ago. He already know. That's why I don't like him. He a fraud because he know that this guy is a pseudo linguist. Let that be me or you, and they'll put us all over the
On the
news
spot, yeah.
and destroy. They're trying to destroy our reputation, but
Mm.
That's what make me don't like him because you picking and choosing.
No integrity. And you know the thing, I mean, this is something sensitive, but he put it out there. He said that one of Jabari's organization's priests violated his daughter. But he's not going against the dude. He doesn't want the smoke because many times he puts some videos, he says, Egyptomaniacs, I want all the smoke. But one guy's going to violate your daughter and
I
you're
don't
not
understand
addressing.
when people say Egyptomaniacs. So you trying to say that the Nubians were the Nubians Egyptomaniacs because they sub-Saharan who had indigenous Nile Valley culture? Are they Egyptomaniacs too?
I mean, he's using that term,
Is Dr. Nazir
basically.
Sati Egyptomaniac?
He's a fence rider and he's appealing to these Abrahamic believers. So he's used because we are
Weird.
Kemetic people are a minority, So because like I said to him, he's not saying Bible maniac or Christian maniacs. He's not saying Muslim maniacs or Quran maniacs. He's not saying Hebrew maniacs or Torah maniacs. But he consistently keeps on
Look,
putting
no
that.
disrespect. I don't talk about people who are not even a pseudo linguist. At least Asar is a pseudo linguist. We got to give him that. At least he tried. I mean, to be unbiased, man. At least that brother tried. I don't care if yes, he gets smacked on the ass with paddles. Cool, but at least he tried to submit. It was rejected, but at least he tried. Tell me what Garfield is doing in this field, in this subject. Is he schooled in this subject matter? Why is he always in subject matters in which he's not qualified? Also, why is he always promoting plagiarists? He promotes plagiarists. He promotes pseudo-linguistics. He don't even give me a chance to say anything before he's agreeing with this pseudo-linguist. So this guy is unfair. He's biased, and I don't watch him. I don't like him. I don't like his name. I don't like anything about him. And hopefully he, blessing to him in the future. But that guy is strictly a pseudo. I told people this guy is a pseudo years ago. And people want to still follow, bro. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, it's a friendship scholarship, That's what they're doing.
It's no scholarship to me. I mean,
yeah.
His man is the only guy who submitted a peer review from that whole team is Asar. He submitted to a peer review system and got rejected. So until they pass that hump, I'm not interested. Now, as far as Baba Reggie, I don't think Baba Reggie is because I talked to Baba Reggie a lot. You know what I mean? We build together. We do a lot of work.
He said the pharaohs were crazy. Those who built the pyramids.
He said they what?
The pharaohs that built the pyramids were crazy. First he said they were cuckoo.
They were.
And I was like, what do you mean? And he said they were crazy.
Well,
yeah, he said that on my platform.
Yeah, look, they wasn't regular. I'll tell you that. I mean, it's a lot of things that I have to, I don't want to discuss the negativity of Kemet culture. That's not.
I understand.
It's a lot of negativity in Kemet culture. In the inscriptions, they did a lot of, wild stuff and stuff like that. Yes, like every civilization does. When we look at the Japanese culture, they did a lot of crazy shit to each other. Instead of when we look at European culture, they did a lot of crazy shit to each other. When we go to African culture, we did a lot of crazy shit. We're not exempt from doing crazy shit to each other.
Yeah.
So he's correct in a certain sense. But to say they were, just they were crazy, maybe I can a little bit disagree, but I kind of agree with him because to our standards, they will be considered nuts, man. They was doing a lot of shit. You know what I mean? They cut your heart out. It's a lot of shit that I can't even talk about because Dr. Ricchetti taught us don't talk about the negativity of
There's enough
Kemetsu
people
culture.
talking about it. There's enough people
Mhm.
talking about the negative. So,
It's
but
negativity just to make it's negativity in all
everywhere.
cultures.
Yeah, in all cultures.
So we're not
We're not
trying to
exempt from it.
be picking and choosing here.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I love the Mayweather Jabari. I love the Mayweather Jabari, but only problem I have, he got to tell people that he's studying a reconstruction of Kemet culture. This is not Kemet culture. This is only a reconstruction. So Baba Reggie, I think he's attacking what he teaches as far as the pseudoism that he's applying. A lot of blacks, what they do is, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna use Asar Hotep. No, what you call that guy? What's
I
his
saw
name?
him all fake.
We're gonna use Asar. No,
Him.
Assume. His name ain't Asar, it's Assume. Assume Imho Fake, right?
Mm.
Assume Imho Fake stated that Allah is in the Medu Neter. All right.
He's in the Egyptian text, yes.
See what I mean? So let's look at Dr. York. Dr. York said that he's practicing the Egyptian culture. He said he's practicing it. Was it really Egyptian culture? No. Egyptian culture is a Assyrian belief system, which is agricultural in nature. They were agricultural type of people, went from a hunter-gatherer culture, well, egalitarian to a hunter-gatherer to a agricultural people. All of their deities are in connections with how they get food for themselves. That's it. They believes in Asar being representative of food in other aspects that's related to that. The sun, the flood, shit like that. Sea shot, plants. They did a lot of things dealing with agriculture and developed a religion around that belief system. That belief system then eventually took off, and it was still within agriculture. But when you had blacks that were in Christian, when they viewed this, they don't understand it. They were not religious. They were agricultural. They didn't believe as what a black Christian would believe. So what they do is they get into the Kemetu understanding and begin to say shit like Asar. Look, watch this. He get to say shit like this. He said that the Akan, this Akan deity, Amini or something, he said that is equivalent to God. See that? So once we start saying that this is equivalent to God and trying to equate what's in European imperialistic religions, alien religions, into Kemet, it's become pseudo. It becomes pseudo. That's not the purity of the Africans on how these guys practice. We didn't worship like Jabari is doing, running around with smiley faces. We had axes. We had agricultural instruments. We will kill you, take over your land, take your cattle, all type of shit. I have inscriptions where the king sent out convoys, messages, and they got robbed. The niggas got robbed by niggas with spears. King had to send some niggas to kill them niggas. So they were warriors, man. They wasn't running around with unks holding unks in his priesthood, a priesthood to get you killed. They were serious in Kemet, man. This wasn't no game. This ain't no game. Anytime you have a civilization that serious, that is spreading across the world, those black people will worship from a lot of different places around the world for being warriors, man. You got to be a top killer to get on that level. You got to have a military filled with killers. You see the military we had. You had Nubians from the first Sapat mixed with the other Sapats. Millions of people, Amenhotep, went into Western Syria dealing with Asians, killing them. That's not the culture So the only thing I say about Jabari is I disagree with. We wasn't no peaceful and all of this type of shit. That's a lie. King Tut got cracked in his head. All those pharaohs, a lot of pharaohs got killed.
Yeah, but today we cannot say there's anything wrong with being peaceful.
No, I'm not saying I didn't say that.
Oh,
There was
okay. Oh,
peace
yeah,
in
yeah,
Kemet. No,
yeah, yeah.
what I'm saying is, it was peaceful in Kemet. I can't say every. I'm trying to tell you that that element is not in the Reconstruction.
Mm.
That element, these niggas soft. They soft. They going to church. Really, they go. I went to one of those things. They say they priest and they doing church service, dude. I went to one of them. It's like we are worshiping these. They didn't worship like we worship. We're using Christian
And
belief
and
systems to
and
place it on Kemet, and it is pseudo. Dr. Reggie is correct.
mm. And um, there's some criticism that can be made regarding Jabari, but when you have those people who plagiarize and who are into
Well,
some
yeah.
occult activities of bending over and possibly spreading that thing in Africa, does the question we can ask ourselves is,
That's true
does
though.
the continuous constant attack on Jabari and his organization, is it warranted? Because it's been going on for about a good
No,
two
it's not.
years, you see, and it's very unfair,
It is
if
unfair.
you know,
Yes, it
and
is.
and that's what I've been trying to tell him many times. For example, when we spoke about Karenga,
Yes, it is.
Reggie was making excuses for it. Karenga tortured black women, and that's why he went to jail for. Karenga plagiarized the Jewish holiday Hanukkah and tried to present it as an African holiday. When I was talking to Reggie about it, Reggie was
Mm.
making excuses for it. And Reggie,
There's no
when I
excuse.
yeah, but he made excuses for it. And I quoted the journalist who interviewed Karenga, and Karenga, said, "Oh, I created Kwanzaa. I told them he was African because, if I told them he was American, they would not celebrate it." Then Reggie
Ooh.
said, then Reggie said, "Oh, that's not the whole article." And I said, "Oh, do you have the whole article?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Can you share it with us?" And he just put up another article that deals with something else. So Reggie will make excuses, and he said that Karenga's book is a good book. Now, okay, even if it's a good book, he tortured black women. So Reggie is cool with Karenga. He said he knows him personally. He's cool with Karenga that tortured black women, but he's going to spend 2 years dissing Jabari. That's
Yeah,
totally unfair and unjustified. But then again, Reggie is free to do
that's
whatever
the
he wants, But at
yeah.
one point,
You got a
it's,
point.
it's it's a bit too much. And now Reggie attacked me just because I'm not going on to this hating Jabari bandwagon to the point where
Yeah.
he's going to take my channel's name and put Greek in it, you know. And once again, Reggie was angry. Actually, I remember now. He got very angry when I told him, you're part of their team. You're listed on their website. And he
I
said,
listed on that
you a
website.
effing liar. And I said, well, you might as well ask them to remove you from the website. The last time I checked, he's still on the website.
What
So
website?
the University of Amen, you know
What's
and,
that?
and I'm going to show you right now.
What is?
And
What in the world?
that's Jahi and them,
Oh well, well he can be. I don't got a problem with that.
yeah, but the pseudo linguist Asai Fake, he's part of the team too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh
I'm going to show
Oh wow. Well.
I'm going to show you right
Well,
now.
that's on.
See.
Well, you guilty by association, man.
Yeah, exactly, guilty by association. So you see, the name is University of Amen, but the URL is westafricabeyond.org, and I'm just going to share it in the chat. Actually, I'm going to go see presenters.
So they have
So
a pseudo linguist. They have a pseudo linguist part, and they accept him.
University of Amen,
And these are professors.
and I put Reggie's team, and then
Jeez.
I put the link in the chat.
See,
So now,
hold
yeah,
up, Robert. Can I say just a little bit? Can you go back up top?
yes,
Thank you. All right, you see how that says West Africa and beyond,
yes,
ancient Nubian and Egyptian interconnections?
hmm
You see how that's a lie? No, I'm not knocking this, but I'm just saying, you see how people separate Nubia
mm.
from Kemet? Like if we gotta say ancient Nubia and Egyptian connections. Duh, it's already connections. That Nubia is the first of Pi, idiot, right? So why would we say that?
Mm.
We don't have to say interconnections when Nubia is Kemet itself. That's
hmm
ridiculous. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I think they're probably dealing more with contemporaneous Nubia, but like
It's
but
still
here,
ridiculous. Sorry.
yeah, I see your point. So here we have a Sahimo fake, and indeed it says software developer, you know, not not linguist, you know,
He is software developer.
yeah, And
Hold on, let me
here,
see, man. Let me see. Go back, man. Go back.
yeah, here, software developer, you know. And here we
Oh, you
have,
can't click on, click on, click on. I want to see.
oh, do you really want to do that? Because that's
Yeah,
like,
no, click on software. I want to see his background. Re-examining. All right, re-examining the divine from an Egypto Bantu lens, a linguistic and cultural.
man, I mean, damn, it's like,
Yo, this is
I don't think it's worth it. Okay. I mean,
yo.
but just to substantiate what I was saying, here we have Dr. Jahi Hissa, you see,
What is this? A journal?
and it's called the University of Amen. So,
He made an abstract. Go back, yo, bro.
and
Don't
hold
change
on,
it.
just look, like we have Dr. Salim Faraji, and then, oh, well, okay, there it is, Reginald A. Marbury,
What the
researcher. So
fuck?
he's part of their team.
Yeah, he
So,
is.
until he asked them,
Oh
respectfully,
man,
can you
yo.
remove me from this because we have a plagiarizer, and I don't want to be associated with that. He's part of their team. So he got very angry, and now he's attacking me like I'm pseudo, ranting for 50 minutes while I'm on hold. And then he says, after the
I
50
heard it,
minutes,
bro. Can you go
he
back to
says,
a saw? That's an
yeah,
abstract. Please
he
go
said, he said,
back.
he said, I have to do more research. you know. So
He have an abstract. Is this? That's what I'm asking you. Is this a credible journal where you want an abstract?
I don't think it's a journal. I mean, it's called the University of Amen. You know,
Hold on, let me look this up.
and but I share the link, so you can have a look. And for example, hold on,
No, I'm
the
about to look now.
origin.
I'm looking on my own. Hold on.
Yeah, now the origin of the word amen.com. Oh, damn, that's not here.
What they a team in hold on, let me share a Psalm Hotep's data.
The origin of the word amen. Um, Damn, where's the website? Or maybe it's origin of the word amen. That's why. Origin of the word amen.
I shared that on my channel.
Every time I look for the website, um,
You can't find it.
if I go to, hold on, if I go to images, I think, bloody hell. Origin of the word amen. Jahi Isa Sei Salim Faraji. There it is. So that's the website here. And that's how I found out that there
Oh
was
my god.
such thing as the University of Amen. Now here that's their website. So when you go down, it says meet the authors. Now, O Kwame Osei, he's introduced as a linguist because Osai Morfake made a critique
Oh my god.
of Campbell's critique, and he said none of them said that they were linguists, but there it is. And then, of course, we have Jai Isa and Dr. Jai Isa and Dr. Salim Faraji. But then um, here
Uh-huh.
he says, why read the origin of the word Amen? You know? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, they're giving their stance, you know what I'm saying? And then he says, download for free our Amani paper on the origin of the word Amen. And then when you
That's a pseudo linguistic book.
and, and then when we click on this, we have a 22-page PDF. And here that's when I saw the University of Amen LLC. And you know what this
What?
is? This is the response to
That's a
Campbell.
corporation.
It's a corporation indeed. And this is actually the response to Dr. Campbell. They did not even title it response to Dr. Campbell, as if they didn't really want people to know that they made a response, because the argument is weak in the first place, and they even admitted that they made errors. But when Jahi Issa called my platform trying to grandstand, it's like, trying to act like, oh, yeah, you can do whatever you want. There are no rules. Have you ever read any of Salim Faraji's paper? And I said, no. He said, you see, this is what I'm talking about. Well, you can go on academia.edu and whatever. But anyway, when I told him, in your paper, you admitted you made mistakes. He's like, no, 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 no. But anyway, this is the response to um Dr. Obade's Campbell's stuff. So they did not even introduce it as a response. They did not even title it like that. But I guess it's so that they can say, well, we have responded. So that's just for the record. That's the way I found out there was such thing as the University of Amen. You know. So, I mean, everybody's free to associate with whoever they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here. I'm not the the conscious community police. But if I say you're part of their team, don't reply to me. Oh no, I don't get paid. I don't get any salary. Being part of a team doesn't mean you get paid or you get a salary. So more power to Reggie. And I'm just rocking with him, and that's it. That's my right. I mean,
Well,
he's pretty.
can I build on that?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Um, I listened to what you said. In first of all, let's look up Dr. Cambone's paper.
Mm.
All right. Let me share it. So I
Mm.
shared this on my channel. So you're getting someone who actually work in linguistics, not no, you know what I'm saying, not no pseudo linguistics. I really do work in linguistics and stuff. Okay, so let's look this up. All right. So you see this, my brother?
Yes, it's on the screen
Do I
now.
gotta make it bigger? Let me see. Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, you see that? Look. All right, so we are looking at Professor Cambone. Amen. As a test work. And I touched on this, why I agree with Professor Cambone. All right, so we looked on this cover. The origin of the word, ancient help. So here's the issues, brother. All right. This is a editorial book critic, brother. This is the origin of the word. I'm an ancient knowledge, editor-in-chief, a PhD in linguistics. Okay. Now, this is what I'm saying. Now let's go back and we're going to look up what you said. Can you share it with you? So we know we know what this is, brother. Right? Now, can you read on the right-hand top corner? See what I mean?
It looks like Ghana Journal of Linguistics,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have like some digits, and then we have the date 2000, but it's very small. Oh, let me
All right.
make it larger.
You think I should make it larger for you?
9.172. Oh, that's probably the reference from the journal because,
Correct.
like,
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
2020. Oh, now it looks better. Yeah, yeah. So
You
page
see it?
72 to 96 of the Ghana Journal of Linguistics, and it's dated 2020. So 2 years
Correct.
ago, he
All
made
right.
that critique.
Now, do you see this right here? You see my arrow in the sky blue? You see this?
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. So your arrow.
Yeah, you see the arrow right here?
Yes, that's probably the link to the journal. Is it?
It's the link to the DOI number.
Mm.
Okay. DOI. Now, what this we about to do? When you see DOI numbers, you're dealing with, in a high percentage of the case, 98% of the time, it's scientific because it went through a peer review system. Feel me? This is a peer review paper that has a DOI number. This is a book critique, and he is talking about the methods, the incorrect methods that was used in this book as a book critique. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, now can you share your screen where they did a response? I just want to show you something real quick.
Yes. So it's that one. Hold on. It's that one. So I'm gonna share it now.
I'm about to stop my.
It is that one. You want the actual PDF? I mean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want to see the paper. Let's look at
I have
that
to
paper.
click on
Yeah.
this. Yeah, that's
Good.
the paper there.
Now let's go. Yes. You see this? That's a University of Ammon LLC, brother. Where's the DOI number? You has a DOI number?
Well, if I go down, you can see.
Mm-hmm.
No, here's a link to their website.
Great.
So
Great. Hold. Go. Can you go up a little bit? Can you go up a little bit? Just a little bit more. Right there. What the? Amen is the God of. Yo, it has. See, this is what I mean. You see how that looks scientific? You see that? It looks as if it's scientific. That's what it looks as if. But remember, hold up, stop it right here. Right, we about to build. Now, you see how that looks like Cambone's paper.
Hmm.
I'm not even going, bro. I'm not getting into who's right or wrong. I don't care. What I'm getting into is the proper way of how to do science. Now, Cambone did it correctly. He submitted it in a journal where it has a DOI number. It went through a blind review system, so it won't be considered biased, right? And he created the method. This don't have a DOI number. This is not published in no peer-reviewed scientific linguistic journal, not a Black Studies journal. Not, I'm talking about a linguistic journal. They are making linguistic arguments. See that? They're making linguistic arguments. So you don't see a DOI. You don't see nothing. You see a goddamn HTTP link. And on the right hand side, you see Amen is the guy. And then you see it's from a LLC company. I can do that. I can make an LLC and publish fucking papers that look like they scientific papers to LLC. See, my issue is why they didn't respond to Dr. They could have responded to Dr. Cambone. I'm for that. But why are they not responding in a linguistic journal, bro? Why?
Because they know they can't hang.
See that? So this is so say bro, you say nothing that. Can this make Kadika pay-per-view channel? That's what I say. You better get that bull S
Out
out
of here.
of my inbox now. Literally. It's a shame.
So apparently their response is not peer reviewed,
It's no.
and we're not sure if it's published in any journal whatsoever. Now, I understand that Dr. Jahi Issa is some sort of editor of the Pan African Journal or something
That's
like
a
that.
Pan-African journal.
Hmm.
That's a. I don't care about. Listen, you should talk about the Pan-African Journal of Black Studies. That's a Black Studies journal, man. I'm talking about Dr. Cambone published in a linguistic journal.
Hmm.
Let's go back to Dr. Cambone. I'm about to show you Dr. Cambone. See, before we even play this game of who right and wrong, we want to know where the hell where's your data being presented at? So you see that? That's Ghana Journal of Linguistics. This is a real journal.
Yes.
Authentic journal, bro. See that? That's the difference. It looks like this how you say the fake. It looks like it's a journal. It looks good. It's LLC. They got their names on the cover. They talking about Amen is come from Amen. But why are they not submitting to no linguistic? Fuck a Black Studies journal. I'm talking about the argument is a linguistic argument. Black Studies, they you can write about anything that's concerned with Black Studies. Like let's take Dr. Baba Reggie's paper. Baba Reggie have a good paper, but he didn't. That wasn't a linguistic argument. He was arguing. He was arguing some cultural stuff that concerned the language a little bit, etc. And it got into a Black Studies journal where people are saying that, people are saying negative about him, saying he got it in there for the friendship. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying that he is in a Black Studies journal. He wasn't arguing nothing linguistics, Baba Reggie. This guy is arguing linguistically. He's trying to say that this word is derived from a Medu Neter word that appears in fucking Hebrew, dude. He got to prove that this is beyond chance similarities. He had to make the correct methodology of chance similarities, not what looks like this or looks like that. He have to prove that what methodology are you using? Are you using multilateral comparative analysis? Are you using global chronology? Are you using lexical statistics? Are you using a comparative method that Dr. Jope used? What are you using? So, my guy, now you see my point in all of this, why I cut people off once they start playing around with scholarship, doing illegal shit, making papers as if it's scientific and don't have a DOI number. I tell people, this is how you get people. Do your paper have a DOI number? If they don't have it, ask them why your paper don't have a DOI number. All scholarship, scientific papers, scientific books have a DOI number. Look it up. We can look on Wikipedia. Wikipedia tell you about a DOI number.
Well, let's show it to the people. I'm gonna put up.
It's a damn shame, man.
No. DOI
Yes.
number. Um, no, it's not digital object identifier, is
Yes,
it?
that's what it is.
Oh, that's what. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna put up the article. There it
Yes,
is.
sir.
So the organization is the International DOI Foundation. We have a website link. So a digital object identifier is a persistent identifier used to uniquely identify various objects standardized by the International Organization for Standardization. DOIs are an implementation of the handle system. They also fit within the URI system, Uniform Resource Identifier. Let me see. They
Hmm.
talk about journals or
No, no,
linguistic.
no. Keep going.
Not
Don't,
linguistic.
don't.
Okay, okay, okay. Let me continue
No,
then.
keep reading.
Uh,
Don't stop reading.
yeah, no problem. So,
No, no, it's
they,
important.
they, they, they are they are widely used
Uh huh.
to identify academic, that is, professional and government information such as journal articles, research reports,
Right.
data sets, and official publications.
Mm-hmm.
DOIs have also been used to identify other types of information resources such as commercial videos. And I'm just going to share that in the chat just so that people can.
You understand? They
And
don't have a DOI number. It's not for real. It's not scientific or professional. Get out of here. We are not even interested in what you got to say until you publish till you get a DOI number, published to a linguistic journal, and then you respond to Cambone the right way. All these shortcuts they learning from Asar Hotel. I don't know, man. They acting like they pseudo and I like Dr. Shamaka Kiyata. And he probably don't even know nothing about this. As soon as he find out that this guy is officially a plagiarist, they manipulating data and stuff like that, he ain't gonna be a part of that mess. That's mess, man.
hmm.
That's
which,
crazy.
which doctor is it you mentioned just now?
Kiyata, I love his work.
Mm,
Dr. Soy Kiyata.
mm. But hold on.
He probably don't even know. Somebody need to like look, yo, this guy saw a hotel. Somebody should send him an email. I'm gonna send him an email.
hmm,
Somebody should send because me and Dr. Kiyata always conversate.
hmm. I've sent a message to Mboli on Facebook, but I didn't get
You
a
mean
reply. But
Dr. Mboli?
well, are you sure he
Yeah,
has a
man.
PhD?
Don't tell me you're gonna tell me someone who's in the field of linguistics and I'm around these guys that he has a PhD. Am I sure? I'm teaching you about DOI numbers. What you think?
Because when I looked him up, I didn't see him having any PhD. So
Yeah, bro.
I'm not
He's real. He's
I'm not
really a
denying it,
doctor.
but like here I go to his publisher, and they
Oh
don't
Lord.
they don't mention it. They don't mention that he
They
has
don't
a.
have to mention it, man. He is a PhD. He has a doc. He when I was at the conference,
Mhm.
right? Want me to show you the conference panel? It'll
Well,
say he has it. Yes.
okay. Well, if
Yes.
they say so, but I'm
I got the
skeptical about
conference
that. But
panel from
yeah.
the history and anthropology department of a university.
Hmm.
And all of us was on a panel. Yes, he's a professor, bro. Not in linguistics,
So
though.
yeah. So is it engineering? Is it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah.
He
Yeah.
deserved to give him his respect. He's a
Yeah.
doctor,
Okay.
and that's what
Okay,
we're gonna say
doctor.
he is.
Okay. All right. Um, yeah, but I'm not sure he received my message. I don't think there's a sign that he received it. So that's just for the
What you
record.
write him? What you say to him?
Um, I was asking him what he thinks about his work being used to say that Cam doesn't mean black. You know.
Yeah, he ain't gonna respond because he already know he wrong. You got his ass. You
Hmm.
got him because he know in Coptic now. It the Coptic proves it. We don't have to go to African languages. Coptic is itself an African language. So thus for all the other African language, we don't even have to even go. We don't have to
Hmm.
go to no other language. Coptic says it. So I can show you now. You want to see it in Coptic? I can go to Coptic real quick. Show it.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
All right, let's go to the Chrome Coptic dictionary. You know, so a lot of people got to understand. Yes, in this dictionary have a DOI number, buddy. See that? You see how that paper did? So that's what I be telling people is that I don't even have time to play with these guys because you're not even published to a peer review to even critique Cambone. That's goddamn ridiculous. Come on, man. Anybody can make a damn LLC, man. You can make an LLC and write papers.
Mm.
That's ridiculous, bro. And your friends can say that's why you get a blind review, bro. That's why people get a blind review because you can have friends and they can say, yeah, you passed.
Mm.
I can't. Well, you know, that's on Baba Reggie. You know, if he want to do that, that's on him. I mean, like I told him, you know, I don't be around these guys. I don't want my name to be mixed up with these guys. These guys are pseudo linguistics. In a couple more years, brother, I'm telling you, it's going to be fucked up for them. All right, we on Coptic English Dictionary.
Did you share your screen?
Oh, I'm about to share it now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all.
Let's see. All right. Is seen here or?
Yeah, we can see the crumb.
All right, we on the crumb. Okay.
Yes.
Let me see. All right. See, this is what Mboli. The reason why he ain't respond back because he in a damn wrong, yo. He's following Asar. I don't know why they think this guy is, you know. But you see this down here on the left. I'll make it bigger. Sorry, I'll make it bigger for you. All right. All right, let's get into this, man. See this? This page, and it's a peer review data here, 109. This has a book review, and they say this is one of the best Coptic books ever created, actually. And it says Kami S.A. Oboli didn't know how to read it. This means...
Is that Sahidic?
Correct. And Akimic. So then you have Sahidic. All right. Now you see these S.
Mm-hmm.
This for Sahidic. You see B, Baharic, Fayumic for F. Now you see plural there. Mm-hmm. See that? It's the plural form.
Yes.
That's plural. That means blacks, comma ye. Blacks. The plural form also appears in Baharic. Shemayu, blacks. And they tell you what it is. It's an adjective to mean black.
Mm-hmm.
See that? This is the plural form of black. See that? Easy money. Now watch this. Let's go to the next page. It's in Coptic. Why would you skip Coptic? You got it's another agenda. That's why. Now watch this.
Yeah.
It's some type of agenda. Gotta be. All right.
Yeah, some people claim that Niger Congo is closer to Medu Neter than the Coptic.
And it's not even a such thing as Niger Congo. I don't even entertain it. It don't even exist. It's something that don't exist. So I'm not going to entertain it. So here it says SBF. What's that?
Sahidic, Baharic, and Fayumic.
And what this is? Two N's mean what? Noun.
Noun.
It can be what? Masculine,
feminine.
Or feminine. And what that say? What that say?
Black person. All thing.
See that? That's how it is, yo. This peer review data, and when you have peer review data, these guys ain't submitting that work in peer review data. Even Europeans ain't going to agree with these dudes, bro. I can go to another peer review where we can actually go to the Coptic text and see it. If you want to see it, I mean, I would love to share it. See that?
Go ahead, brother.
This black person. I thought it don't exist. Let's build on this, Shaka. I want you to get on. Get in. What you got to say about that, Shaka? Come on, Shaka. They lying,
Shaka. Most Egyptologists in the world um, will say that Coptic is the latest phase or the latest stage of the Medunecher.
Facts.
And besides saying that, most
Mm-hmm.
Egyptologists in the world, and they are mainly of European descent,
Mm-hmm.
they translate Kem as black.
Facts.
But then we have the pseudos who say what was their methodology, how did they come to that conclusion? But they don't ask that question for other words. That question is only for that particular word Kem. And the
Good
funny
point.
thing is that they ask us the question, but they don't ask the experts. And I told those guys, why don't you ask the experts? Why don't you send them a message and ask them what's their methodology? How did they come to that conclusion? You know? So they have it's an ideology that they have, and that's
Yes,
what some
it's
people.
true.
Yeah, it's an ideology just because they have a hypothesis that Kemet means riparian land or riparian country. I mean, even the new glyph reference 049.
Apple
Ujawi said for
Styling. Apple
yeah.
Styling. They them guys are not even peer reviewed. We don't me and
Mm.
you don't talk about we don't me and you don't talk about stuff that's not peer reviewed. That's like for us, that's entertaining Dr. York stuff there. We might as well entertain Zachariah Sitchin. He's not peer reviewed. Zachariah Sitchin ain't peer reviewed. And when he got peer reviewed, he got blasted for saying never. Come on, man. It did. Dr. Alex Jones. None of these guys are peer reviewed scholars. If we accept Assam Hotep, that means we must accept everybody, like Unc said, that's not peer reviewed. This is science. This is Egyptological. I gotta submit my data to a journal, an African journal, bro. I have to. This is what Dr. Ricchetti taught me. This is what Dr. Sati taught me, Dr. Cambone. He don't teach me to come up with theories, a hypothesis, sorry, not a theory, but hypothesis. Just because you accept the hypothesis doesn't mean that it's scientifically accurate, like Afro-Asiatic. I can show you that. I have all type of peer reviews, man. Europeans are not lying about this stuff. They're not lying. They ain't making it up. It's in Coptic. So when you sent that to Dr. Mboli, he's not going to respond. And it's embarrassing. How are you going to get every word and compare? I can show you. You want me to pull up Dr. Let me pull up Dr. I got his book. Let me pull up Dr. Obadeli. Oh, Dr. What's his name?
Teofado
Emboli.
Benga? Oh, Embody,
Emboli.
okay.
No, we about to pull up his stuff. Yeah, why not? We about to show you where he skipped, and you told him that, and he didn't even respond to you. That's how you know these guys, man. They
But
terrible.
but 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 with all fairness, I'm not sure that he received my message because
Okay,
there's a little sign that shows when the message has been received. And now I'm just gonna check
okay.
again if I go there.
Well, I ain't gonna do it
Uh,
then.
yeah,
I ain't.
the sign is like not it's not the same as the other messages. So probably he might have not checked it, or maybe he saw my username and the pseudos told him, don't deal with that guy, and then he did not open it. I don't know, but um. I'm not sure that he has received my message. However, I went on the publisher's website,
Okay,
and you can contact him to the publisher's website, and I pasted the same message as well. you know so I think through the person's website, but who knows. But it was just for the record. I was doing a live stream, and then some people put something up, and I said, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna send him a message, and we will see. So, and I'm not sure if I found also his email address somewhere, and I've sent him the message. But it's it's all good. It's all good. Like
uh,
I've been telling our brothers and sisters, we have two pseudos against all Egyptologists in the world. So it's up to people to decide.
and Coptic and Cop and you know you're 100% sorry about. Oh, let me put my cam.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, no problem.
You're actually correct, brother. You're on point, and I always support you. I don't care if you're mad at me or not. I have a personality that's a little bit, outspoken, but I mean no harm. My heart, my heart is good. I'm not perfect. I got some things. Everybody got little things with them. We human, but we're dealing with when you're dealing with scholarship, we have to take it to scholarship, not play. That paper
Mhm.
that we have seen on your channel, this beautiful channel that I support this channel, is that we seen a paper that don't have a DOI. We know what DOI numbers are. If that's the case, I might as well go back to the Wabu, Nation of Islam, Hebrew Israelites. If I'm going to continue, even their scholars are writing for journals now. So if you ain't on that level, get out of here. That paper, that response paper, don't even have a DOI number. Somebody could have did that on a corner smoking a blunt, like, yeah, we're gonna respond to Dr. Cambone, put it, yeah, we're gonna put somebody had to think about that and do
And
that.
Asai Morfek had the nerve to say that Dr. Campbell's critique is the same as being in the barbershop and talking, the S word. He said that.
Yeah, well,
That's disrespectful.
that has a DOI number.
Yeah, you know. But anyway,
I ain't know they give out DOI numbers in barbershops. I would have been went to the barbershop, brother Stolly. Look at my
yeah.
hair. I would have been having fades, you know. If I can get a DO number from a barbershop or peer review from a barbershop, I would have been. Yo, Dr. Cambone is the elite scholar. This guy is in anthropology department. He's in. He's the best top of the league. He's the top. When we're talking about Professor Cambone, we're talking about the future Obenga, the future Jope.
Mm-hmm.
That's the level I give him. He's
It's,
on
it's,
another
it's,
level.
it's, it's very, very impressive indeed.
He's very impressive, and we should be proud of him because he's our age, and he's is doing wonderful things. And I follow his lead. And even me and Sati, we try to submit. We get beat up, brother. We get beat up. That's why I know a lot about it because we get beat up. I'm learning in school. My teacher beat me up. I failed tests like every other human. I got to go back, get help, and study. I'm a human being. They not going through that process, man. You just showed me something that have a LLC on it, bro. Come on, yo. No, no, no. Oh, let's go to this text. We're in Coptic. We can go to the actual text.
Mm-hmm.
I think we already. Would I be wasting my time showing it? Because we did show it in the dictionary.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess yeah. And
Yeah,
that's a funny thing. It goes, and many times I say, the level in the conscious community is low. We could do better. We could improve. We can learn from our mistakes.
facts. Yes.
But we actually spend more. I was telling a brother, we don't get the support. I don't get the support,
Yeah.
and I have to do the 9 to 5, and then with the little time that I have, then I have to, refute the pseudo claims in the community just to avoid our people accepting the normalization of pseudoism, of pseudo claims. When I and I told the brother it's Pan African apparel and designs. I told him, rather than doing that, I rather go to those texts. I rather go to those texts and 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 um and just deal with what the well, you cannot really see well because of the background, but I'd rather go to the text directly, you know and see what our ancestors said.
Mm-hmm.
Now the other one is in my, this is a collection. You see, that's the size. Those are three of the books.
I
Only
can't
one.
see it. I wish I could see it.
Yeah, it's because of my background, but there's so many texts for us to go through, what I'm saying, to get insights. But at the end of the day, when I make videos and the title says Medunetra, there might be like two people following the live streams. There's no comments.
Mm-hmm.
There's no participation in the chat. So Medunetra at this point is not sexy, but it's not too surprising when we have on one hand those people who do linguistic acrobatics and linguistic gymnastics with the Medunetra, and on the other hand, some people who say the Medunetra has not been deciphered. So, but it, that's the way it is. We have to deal with it. It's a fight. It's a struggle, and then we play our part, just like others before us played their part. But I've said so many times over the years, and I think it was rule number one: no fence riding. So I don't
Right.
need to say no names, but we have some people. And Jonathan Owens, Smash Rockwell, he talked about somebody as well. You know, I mean, even when I use the term comedic, the brother was using semantic. Apparently, it's not comedic, and it's not an obligation um, to be comedic. But
It is
we
an
have two.
obligation to be a Kim. Be black. Oh, this is
Yeah.
why. All right, this is all right. All right. This is where I did a conference at the Department of History and Anthropology, and I'm gonna show you why it's important for us to be Kim. That is the goal for us to be. Um, that's
I'm
what
I'm
we were.
I'm still listening. I'm gonna remove my cam, but I'm still listening. Okay.
You remove your camera.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Keep going, brother. I'm still listening. Go ahead. Can you
uh,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Something I did wrong or anything?
No, no, no. It's
Oh,
just
okay,
just
okay.
just wanted to do something. I don't want it to be seen on the camera. That's all.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, no, no problem.
All right, so this is the University of Obume, where you have anthropologists. Uh, you have Ves Ngano. He is a professor on a panel. I think he's part of the organization. He probably don't know what's going on. A lot of people don't even know what's going on with these guys. Let's go to why it's important for us to use Kemp. And this is why. You see this? This is at the conference, presenting the data.
Oh, yeah, the international conference, yes,
Uh-huh. The University of Obume. We had
in
a
Benin.
in Bennett. All right. Number one university in Benin, and it's the Department of History and Anthropology, and they have two other universities connected to it. You see Dr. Cam, all of them go be in the background. These are top scientists and anthropologists, brother. Now, when we see Kim, here we see Kemet. The T, of course, is go through what they call elision in Demotic or lenition, and it's replaced with an I and in Coptic. See, so it's still feminine, but it's just replaced by another lighter sound. So when you see this, brother, you see Kemet, Kimmy, in Demotic. This is, hey, brother, we didn't even get to Coptic yet. You feel me? We didn't even get to Coptic. This is Black people, Middle Egyptian, Demotic, Kimmy, dark skinned person, Coptic Sahidic, Blacks, Nubian, Uramiri. Why do I say this is important? This is important because in this stage, we were united, as Dr. Campbell stated. We were united under the auspice that all of us were Blacks versus others.
All right.
See what I mean? So this is important. Blacks. Uramiri, Cole, in Southwest Dinka, Black male, Jemini, co-worker. A co-worker is identified in Dogon to be synonymous with Black people. Now let's continue. Look, this is top of the line stuff. Now this is the actual text. This is the primaries. This is where we are calling ourselves that in Old Egyptian, using the adjective modifier construction. It says it here. Now we see Misha, Shahid, Sar, Sahabi, Kim. Kim is attached to Sabi Black. You see the determinative of a man.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Black man, right? Why this is important? In Old Egyptian, it has Sabi Kim, Sabi the Black, but in Dogo Tomaso, it also has Nidi Kim, mean Black man, and that's an African in Dogon. That's African. It says it. In Dogon, and Nubian, Black person, means a Negro. So Kim, us uniting as we did in the past for unification, just because we are Black versus the outside forces, this is the purpose of the title of Kim. because we united under that auspice during us beefing with other nations, including internal blacks that were with other nations as well. All of us was considered Kemet. Nehisu, who are some of her was Nehisu New Kemet. That means the Nubians of Kemet or the Sub-Saharans of Kemet or whatever, the Negroes of Kemet, whatever you want to say, whatever racist.
Mm.
I use the racist terminology because I want them to know that, remember you called these guys a Negro? Remember?
Then it's the Negroes of Kemet.
They said now, let's use what they say now. Negroes of Kemet now, right? Okay, you called them Negro, and I'm gonna still use that definition. Negroes of Kemet. That's what it says. We were in the army together. The Nubians formed the army with the other Upper Egyptians, and we were united under the auspice of being black. Kim, a Kim. We were fighting invasions, a lot of invasions from outside, the sea peoples, etc., that had what they call pale face.
The Amu.
We even called them a different type of skin color from us in text. So us being Kim, all of us should add the Kim name to our name. I was going to change my name, Nechanet Kim, and I hope all of us should have Kim on our name. We are showing people that we are unified as blacks. No matter if you're in France, no matter we are unified because you can have a different religion. You could be Arabic. You could be whatever the hell you are, but we are unified because we are black. When you come in contact with a Mexican, Mexicans, they have different belief systems in Mexico. Some are Christians, some are whatever, different denomination, whatever they are. But when it comes to fighting black people, they unite because they are
Yeah,
Mexican.
they're
They are
unified.
Mexican first. When you go to jail and the gangs go to jail in Southern California, the Mexicans in that jail would unite with Peckerwoods. They will unite with the racist whites to
Yeah.
fight black people.
Mm.
So that's what we did. We united off the strip that we were black with other diverse blacks within a reason, and we united against pale faces, all different types. This is not a black race thing either, because we didn't believe in none of the racial ideas that they had today because of the skin color. Like in African traditions, a white person is accepted. We don't teach not accepting of different cultures and learning different cultures, uh, whatever we want, but this is reserved for our race first. You
Mm.
can't be in an interracial relationship like some of these people that's in uh, Cameroon and Africa today, and then give a Nana Ngaga. Nana Ngaga means adopted member. A Nana Ngaga is a member that's adopted that don't have the Luvila, the same blood as me and you. They can be adopted if they accept our culture. What you mean? It's like that in the hood everywhere. It's just that's this. We are not racist. We never implemented that type of ideal, like you said, in Africa. That's something we learned here to be black supremacists. No, I don't. We not like that. But I teach to keep our own backyard straight. Then we can worry about being friendly with other people.
Yeah, we have to clean house.
We can't be worrying about no race thing. We got to be worried about what builds Africa for us because we have the right to do it. So we are black. We are uniting because we are black, like Mexicans unite. Let me give you an example. If a black dude messes with someone from Europe, and you have a girlfriend who are European, and they in a royal European family, okay? Say they in a European, which they do have a one of their children messing with a black girl. They will not allow her to be on the seat of the royal family. It's just in all cultures. Mexicans don't do it either. You can deal with a Mexican woman, but you won't be on the you won't be making decisions for that fucking country. We're the only people that mess with other races, and then we
You know,
allow that whole goddamn family.
the analogy is some people have shown that they showed pictures of leaders of several countries, whether they are kings of presidents, and their wives is either from their country or the same ethnic background. But when you look at Africa, you have so many presidents, and you look at their wives, they are not from the same ethnic background, you know. So
Well, in well, they don't have to be in African
yeah, it's
tradition.
not an obligation,
It's
but
not
you
because
know,
we're
it's
not
just a fact.
racist.
Yeah.
We're not racist, but there is a rule. I got proof. I got peer review. I got proof that in African traditions that you cannot you can interracial. Okay, that's cool, but to have your wife in a position, which is a nana inganga, to make political decisions for your country, allowing other outsiders in the royal family, they don't do that nowhere. Not in Mexico. They don't do that in Hawaii. They don't do that no fucking where but us. So we are violating African tradition. I'm not teaching that we are racist. I'm teaching that Anana and Gaga do not supposed to be in a position that is only reserved for the race, the blue villa of the village. The same way in Europe, they will not allow a black person. I don't care if you are dating that daughter, piping that daughter, or whatever. You will not be on a royal family making decisions. Period. You won't even be. You will be blind. They don't. They ain't gonna let even. They probably ashamed.
Some people say that's the reason Lady Diana was killed, because some people say she was pregnant by Dodi Al Fayed. So it's still the kind of the same skin color, but it's not the same ethnic background. So and plus
Facts.
a different religion.
A different.
So we'll never really know the ultimate. We'll never really know
So
the truth. But
Kemet for us is like Europe for white Europe is for Europeans. That's what Kemet is. That's our classical history. That's where things begin to begin for us, right? With technology, with civilization, etc. And we were not Egyptianized. This is just part. We are part of a Nile Valley culture that existed for thousands of years in the Sudan, where all of us have links to. This is our ancestry. We all was under the banner of black at one point, being Kims. Some of us were traders, etc. You do not let outsiders make decisions for African people. That's why in the 25th dynasty, we can go to the text where the Nasrubiti was upset that he was sitting at a table with an Amu in a Nubian together making decisions for our country. He was upset in the text. I know you know about that text where he came from the South and
no,
they were
that
revising the
no,
black culture.
I'm actually not familiar with that text.
Oh well, I'm gonna send you the text,
Mm.
and the text is the king was upset. He like, look at this. I'm sitting at a table, a panel, to make decisions for my country with a pale face in a black, a Nubian. He was upset, man. You don't let them. Yo, listen, we are not racist. That's true. We don't have to. Yo, we never. We always were African loving people, man. We accept everybody. We like that today, man. We can get whipped and smacked and beat around. Mexicans can say they hate us. White people can do it. Then we still come on and eat with us. We still. That's how we is. You know what I mean? In his in that's people that don't know African tradition. Yo, we are not racist. We never was racist in the Kikongo system. We never promoted racism in the Kikongo system. We always was loving. Everyone is part of humanity in the Kikongo system. This is why the Kemetu taught the Greeks. They came from another place and we come on, build with us and such and such. But we don't supposed to allow these relationships. And also, let me tell you another thing is that when you deal with outsiders, Amu and all of that outsiders, and you make them your wives or whatever, cool. But your children is Kim. Your children is Kim. Your children have to be born on the land of Kim. We never gave our women out to foreign kings.
Mm.
Only outside tradition did that. We never
Mm.
gave our daughters outside, and they were always on the throne. You don't deal with no Amu or no other Mexican or and let them have position of power in the embody. You violating. They are Nana Inganga. It's like if you go to Europe, you get a card, a passport. When you get your passport, you get a green card, and your green card say you got the same privileges we got, but nigga, you ain't gonna be on the Senate. You can't be on the Senate. You ain't gonna be a president. you ain't gonna be shit. You can mess with our women. You can build. You have our own business, but you ain't gonna let political. You ain't gonna have political power, and that's something we do. We get in these religions, and we grab Islamic traditions and then place it on our people. You're violating African tradition. You can practice Islam, but let you practice Islam on your private time. You trying to convert other people to your religion? It's also against African tradition. I can prove it. I got facts. I challenge anybody to challenge me on this issue. I'm gonna go to Dr. Foucault, who I have a peer review on, that he's was a genius at this subject, and he a professor in African tradition. I have a type of peer reviews on this. We don't do that. So these new guys, they get these religions, new religions, like King Azana. King Azana became a Christian.
Of Ethiopia.
And then a motherfucker began to go to war with his own people, putting Christianity, he taking it too far. Yo, if that's your political belief, religious belief, that's your belief, religious belief. You
But
can't.
you don't have to make it political.
No, yeah, you're trying to convert, and that was something that Europeans did. That's in their culture. They're trying to convert the savage, who's not a. They call people who don't believe them savages. Even themselves, they didn't even like each other at one point in time. They was getting into religion. They were warned with the savage European tribes. They called the Vikings. The Vikings wasn't having that shit. They didn't like them other Europeans. They were different.
Yeah.
So this is history. And we don't supposed to be making no Nana Nganga. Nana Nganga mean someone who's adopted. We can adopt, like animals can adopt other animals. We can adopt other humans in our culture and stuff like that. But they cannot be in no positions of power. They cannot have no positions of power, and their children are Kims. That's it. It's not no other Luvilla. And if you want to be in that culture, you have to lead the village. These are facts, bro. This is how they carry us. But we carry everybody with open arms, man. You know, we are the softest, we are the smartest, most hardest warriors that you can find, but our hearts make us the most softest punks ever to me. We don't supposed to be taking these alien traditions, just like in the 25th dynasty, when that pharaoh, that Nasubditi, went up there and was disappointed that he seen a Nubian, Nehisu, an Egyptian, and a Amo, talking about political arrangements going on in our shit. So that's my rules. It's all about blood. If that child grew up with us, it's all about blood. Luvilla, you don't have to be the same Luvilla, but you cannot be in the positions of power. Just how the Mexico carriers. Name one black man in Arabia who's making political moves, and a lot of black men mess with Arabian women. A lot of black men mess with Arabian women. But show me a black man in Arabia making political moves for Arabia. Show me. It won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Show, I can show you many black men messing with European women in the European countries over there. They like it. They it's cool. They're not against it. But show me the same black man in a position of power making political moves for that country. It doesn't happen. Nature doesn't work like that. Show me in an animal insect kingdom where you might have a red ant and a black ant. You may have some red ants that's adopted with the black ants. You might find it. And then the red ants are not making political moves for that ant nest. A duck might be adopted by a lion then. See, that happens. A cat might adopt a duck. I seen that. Might adopt it. I ain't seen it personally. I seen it online in the Science Channel that animals adopt other members. But those other members and shit, they not making cat moves and political moves for that cat organization they got. They get killed. The cats will eat his ass. Every cat gonna go for you.
Mm.
So come on, man. We're being unrealistic with this stuff. We're black. It's in all of our languages that we were black, and it was derived from Nile Valley, where we came from. Period. Kemet came from Sudan. That's where that came from, Nubia. It says in the text that the ancestors of the Kemetu came from Nubia, Taseti. That's what they said.
Which text is that, brother?
We talking. I'm gonna send it to you.
Mm.
Oh, it said that we came from the south in Wawat, Wawat,
Oh, yeah.
Wawat,
Well, yeah, one of the area in what we call Nubia today.
Taseti. Yeah. So now you have people saying the interconnections between Nubia and Egypt. There's no, come on, interconnect. That's like me saying the interconnections between Irish and the Scotlands. Interconnections. For what, man? We know they are the same, but they have diverse tribal groups that are in Europe. It's the same thing. They act like just because we warm with each other, that means that we different races. That's false. That's like in Europe, you have the Irish and Scotland warring with each other.
Mm.
I'm talking about killing each other, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
are still white.
Mm. The Catholic and Protestant, they went at it for a good while. And they stopped because there was too much killings.
Too
It's
much
like,
killing.
man, it's just like, we ain't getting nowhere with that, so we're gonna chill now.
Yeah. Look at the Japan culture. Two brothers warring with each other. The Ming dynasty versus this dynasty. They related, warring, but they don't say, yo, they different people. And this agent had this agent enslaved. They don't do that. They just say they were beefing. They were war tribes. The strongest survive. Yo, when it comes to black studies, everything is unfair. Everything.
Yep.
It's just unfair treatment. They treat pseudos better. These guys don't have they don't have DOI numbers. Nothing, man. It's sad, man. You've been saying this for years. I've been watching you for probably early in 2010. I seen one of your videos. You the one who motivated me to get in this type of field study. I've been seeing you doing this for. I told you that a lot of times. I looked at your stuff.
Yeah, I'm honored to hear that.
Yeah, man. When I first I didn't know about Asar Hotep. I was kind of like around him, but I was like, yo, he sounds weird, man. I just used to say, he always say he try to compare Bantu, and I'll be thinking like, yo, did he know that Bantu not real? But I never said nothing. I was just like, how you gonna compare something that's not real with something that's real? I always had that in my head. And then one day I got a call from Brother Ngozi. He said, nah. This is what Brother Ngozi said. Brother Ngozi said, nah, let me ask you this, man. I know you did with a little linguistics, and that's when I was at the beginning stages of linguistics. I was watching your videos, a lot of other people's videos. And he said, yo, is Sumerian Bantu? That's what he said, right? I said, hell no. What? That's ridiculous. No, brother. He said, you know Asar Hotep is saying that shit, man? I said, he the one put me on the attention of this dude. Like, yo, do you know he's saying this shit? I said, oh, let me ask him. I was like, Asar, you compare Proto-Bantu. I said, I do it, but I'm not a linguist, really. I'm starting off. I'm not, nobody takes me serious at that time then. I'm just getting into it. So he said that, yes, Sumerian is Bantu. He showed me all these pseudo books. I looked at those books. Those books seemed nice. And then I start building with Professor Campbell. I said, yo, I can't trust this guy. I got to go to a professional. Someone who is in the field. I went to my teacher, Dr. Ricchetti, and Dr. Ricchetti just say, she ignored him. She said, I don't even respond. She don't, she ain't with all that. She don't even respond. So, he uses Bantu a lot. Those things are pseudo. You can't even compare Bantu with living languages. One is a hypothetical, made-up, man-made language, and then one is a living language. They don't have the same equal standing in science. And the same website that we went to, notice he got a paper in it. That's what he do. He's pseudo-linguist. Pseudo-linguist. Nalo Sahern is not real. It's not established. It's fake. I want people to understand these things in linguistics. We don't view these things as real. That's only in this YouTube world. Nalo Sahern is not established as a real language classification. It's accepted, but it's not scientifically established. Niger Congo definitely is not scientifically established. We don't say Niger Congo language. We say Negro Egyptian. We don't have to use that because it's not scientific. Afro-Asiatic. We don't have to use Afro-Asiatic. Just because a little bit of people accept it in the science world doesn't mean I have to accept it, because every linguist don't accept it. They don't. This is 1966. I have a 2022 book. Well, 2020 will tell you. Historical linguistics. This is 2020. An introduction, 4th edition. Everyone knows this. Like, it's in here. This is 2020. This is 1966. 1966, 2020. We don't have to accept it. We can say Negro Egyptian. We can say that. We can work with that. We don't have to accept that shit. We don't have to. Yo, come on, man. You using Bantu. Your Bantu is not even proven. So only Stewart's is. Stewart's is the only one I would say people would get into. He did a little bit, but Bantu altogether, I'm not interested in none of that. Then you have to have DOI numbers to prove these crazy outlandish things, like Sumerian is Bantu. Hebrew is, what else, other pseudo things. Hebrew is in the Medu Neter. The Hebrews are real. They in the Medu Neter. When you were saying that years ago, brother, I was listening to you and I said, yo, this brother right, man. There ain't no way. I tried to look for it. Couldn't find it. No, in no inscription the word Hebrew exists.
He said the Hebrews are happy rule.
Yeah, man. So you're doing a good job, man. I like this build today.
I appreciate it too, brother. I appreciate it too. Thank you very much for calling in, brother. And I will end the last stream. I'll do a part 2, to deal with the rest of the stuff I wanted to show to the people. But thank you very much for calling in. You know what I'm saying? And just tell the brothers and sisters your YouTube account again. It's Kedika peer reviewed, and then what's the rest of the name?
Oh, just Kadika the peer review science channel, man. I ain't on here promoting. I'm not on here promoting anything. I'm on here showing you support. So support my man, my op forever. The brother, good scholar, man. He got good head on the shoulders. As scholars, we don't have to agree with everything each other say.
Yeah, it's true.
Only thing we got to do is be unified under blackness. That if Mexicans doing it, we got to do it to protect ourselves. Period. So we are unified. Because that's my brother in blackness. He don't tolerate plagiarism.
No, I
right?
don't tolerate that.
He's not tolerating that crap. Plagiarism, supporting a plagiarist, and they plagiarize, and you're still not addressing that issue. You're still not. I can't rock with you. If you are supporting any of these guys not doing DOI peer review, trying to make responses to DOI papers, yo, that's ridiculous, man. If that's the case, I'm gonna go against Einstein tonight, bro. Einstein, I'm going tonight. I'm gonna write something against Einstein. Me and you gonna start our own corporation, and we're gonna put abstracts refuting all science. Ridiculous.
That's too easy. There's levels to this. Yeah. All right, my good brother. So, thanks a lot for calling, and feel free to hop in anytime you like. Okay.
All right, man. Keep that warrior spirit. Peace, brother.
Peace, brother. Hotep sen. So, brothers and sisters, I will put an end to the live stream now. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. Hotep.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving Medu Neter classes, and here That's the flyer. Okay. So those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more. I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Neture class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.